To start. What is up? It's 420. Happy 420, everyone. Nobody's here yet. That's all right. Well, I am calling in. Actually, I'm in Campbell River, British Columbia right now on Vancouver Island. And we're going to kick off 420 here for the next 4 hours. We've got some great Canadian culinary icons coming in to join, chat with us. We've got some cannabis influencers, cannabis authors, people really up in the cannabis scene. They're going to help us give away some prizes. And we've got some music for you guys. So this isn't the 420 that we're all used to, but we're going to make it a memorable 420. And not because of COVID, but because we're going to come together right now and we're going to give back. So the main purpose of doing this was for the Second Harvest Foundation. We wanted to find a charity that we could give back to. I couldn't do this on my own, so I'm partnered up today with Shabazz from Lift & Co. And then we've got Robert in the back end, kind of our maestro, puppet master, pulling all the strings. So why don't we welcome Shabazz in to come join us, and we'll get this thing kicked off.
How you doing, Travis?
I'm good, Shabazz. How are you?
I'm doing well, Really excited about what we got going on here today. Good chance to raise a good amount of money, spread some awareness, and make sure that we're normalizing and driving cannabis consumption for the future. So a whole bunch of things planned today, and really eager for it.
And so you're where right now? Toronto?
I'm in Toronto. I'm in my home. It's nice and sunny. Still kind of chilly out here, so a little bit upset that can't do this outside. But weather will warm up soon.
Well, I won't rub in that we're having beautiful summer-like weather on the coast right now. I won't even mention it. So, but hey, you know what? We could be where Robert is in Edmonton. Although amazing food scene, winter sucks there. So
winter does suck.
We got some winter. But winter's coming to an end. Hopefully, the self-isolation, all these restrictions will start to ease up, in a month or so. So I think everyone's been doing an amazing job so far. And, here we are.
Here we are on 420. Remember, everyone stay home, but hopefully you can take in and celebrate 420 with us while also raising money for a good cause. So let's make sure that we give back to the plant and celebrate the plant that's really given so much to us.
Yeah, absolutely. So you're doing a Q&A too? Yeah, I guess so. This is all kind of new for us, and this is even a new app. So definitely we want to be interacting with you guys. So if you do have questions along the way, please check in and ask. Maybe we'll talk a little bit, let everyone know kind of what's coming up and what the format's like. So we're gonna start off at every hour. We're gonna get some cannabis cooking actually going. So while we're right before we're about to introduce our next guest, I've actually got the Levo 2 machine right here, and I'm gonna start an infusion of maple syrup. So we're actually giving away one of these machines in about the 3:20 Pacific time. So if you're listening then, we'll be giving that away. But we're gonna use that again. This just gives you that accurate, safe dosing. It'll allow me to set it up, push the button, pick my temperature, and I can leave it there for the next 2 hours. I don't have to worry about it. I don't have to stir it. It's a great machine. And then we've had West Coast Gifts step up. They donated us 2 bongs, Shabazz. They're the sidekicks.
Nice.
I'm not gonna lie, when they showed up, I was like, so we're giving one away, right? But no, we got 2 of them to give away, so that'll be cool. And then I think a lot of people have heard me especially talk about using a sous vide to do cooking. So one of my favorite pieces of equipment is the Innova sous vide. So we're gonna give away one of those. You can use it for not just for making your cannabis extractions, but it just allows you that perfect cook on so many different things out there. I'm going to give away a dinner for 2 once we're allowed to travel and move around again. I'm going to come into your home and cook for you and your partner, do a nice sort of private dinner. And lastly, we've got the Levo, or no, sorry, 2 more prizes. We have the Levo machine. So this is a Levo 2. Again, just amazing. It's going to be, so we got one. That's kind of the grand prize, I would say. And then lastly, we've got a hippie box. And what's a hippie box? Well, there's a company called Left Coast Naturals, and they make some food. They've got a brand called Hippie Snacks, which are all non-GMO, vegan, plant-based, delicious sort of snacks. Well, they sent us over a nice gift basket with all these munchies in there, and then Nectar Extract stepped up, and they sent us some product, some concentrates. I think there's a couple tinctures in there. So, it's the perfect stay-at-home kit. Get your Netflix on and get your munchies there. So just be, like we said, we want some stuff to give away, but I think that's just the tip of the iceberg, because don't you have some swag as well?
Yeah, we got some swag that we'll be announcing later on in the show. Still stay tuned in. We got a couple of licensed producers, a couple of vape companies that have come on board. So excited to share a little bit more about you. Can expect some gear from Quest Cannabis as well as Toki. So looking forward to it. And as the show progresses, we'll kind of be handing those out a little bit more spot prizes. But again, as much as you can, let's try and raise some money, do this for a good cause. And again, like Travis said, you got the perfect stay-at-home kit. So let's try and make this a good day. And again, it's our first time doing this, so bear with us. In the world of virtual and stay at home, it's going to be a fun day.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll make the best of it. And you know what? We're every 420. We're going to celebrate right across the country. So, this is kind of a trial run. Let's see how it works. Let's see how it goes. So, as I kind of mentioned, I'm going to actually get my maple syrup infused and going, and I'm just going to show everyone how simple and easy it is to do. So, we've got our little cage here. So, actually, Jeff, the 420 chef, showed me a really cool hack where if you take the filter from a coffee press, like a French press, you can actually put it in here and it acts as the filtration system. Because when we do use just the cage for the cannabis, we do lose a bunch of the THC because the plant matter is so condensed. But for now, we're just going to use this because I want to show everyone the proper way of doing it. So we opened up our cage. We're going to take our cannabis. I'm going to add 3.5 grams. That's what I'm going to go off with my measurements today. All right. So again, we want to treat our cannabis just like it is any other ingredient. So, don't use a grinder. We're going to lose a lot of those terpenes and trichomes. Use your knife. Just like that. Into the cage. Heck, you know what? It's 420. Let's put a little more in. When in Rome, right? When in Canada. So other ways you can do this, if you don't actually have a Levo machine yet, you can use, a big component. All right, so we put our little kg on, we drop it in, we pour our maple syrup in, and I'm going to go at about 165 degrees. Now, I am a big component of not decarbing your cannabis. I think by taking the decarb process, you burn away those terpenes, you burn away that flavor, and you get left with that dank sort of bitter taste. And that's why when you taste cookies and brownies, they all taste the same. But if you actually look at the terpenes that are inside of the cannabis that you're using, you can start to sort of, really focus in. What are the terpenes? What are their evaporation points? At what temperature can I go and really maintain that aroma and flavor? I really like going in around 165 degrees. All right. So our maple syrup's in. We literally close the hatchet. We hit. So it's got a dry cycle, an activate cycle, and an infuse cycle. So we're going to go 165. And we're going to go for 2.5 hours, which will be perfect because come near right before 4:20, like 3 o'clock here, we'll have our infusion ready to go. We're going to make some chicken wings. We're going to make poutine. We're going to make this delicious Asian chicken sandwich that I do. Delicious. Oh, sorry. Busy bud tender. You're coming up next. No, we're just going to announce it in with our talk. So we'll just say this person is the winner. All right. So then you push the button. It says warm it up. We don't have to worry about it. So a couple of cool things. I don't know if you guys saw today, but we've got to do a super cool collaboration with the Beastie Boys. Matt from Herb gave me a call last week and kind of set this all up. The Beastie Boys have their documentary coming out on Apple on Friday, the 24th of April. It's called The Beastie Boys Story. So, sorry, Beastie Boys Story comes out Friday. So their actual book biography came out last year. In it, Chef Roy Choi created some recipes of their favorite snacks to eat while on the road. And they asked me to take one of those recipes and just film me making it. So the one I picked was called Get It Together. And it was a barbecue pineapple grilled macaroni cheese sandwich. So I'm not a big macaroni and cheese guy, but I love me some grilled cheese sandwiches. So I thought, let's give this one a try. I like my pineapple. It was good. It was tangy. I think it's like the perfect stoner food. It just I will probably make it again. And I'll just try and yay! Hello. I wonder, can everyone see everyone's comments or do I just see their comments? My Lord. So yeah, come on, that was super cool. That really made this 420, like just to get it started off in the right way. Funny enough too, so I actually have a 5-year-old brother, and he turned 5 today. My brother's born on 420, kind of cool, right? And then Tanya Kim from Breakfast Television Toronto, she does a little Instagram show as well. So she had me on. We actually made that poutine for some of her viewers in that and left the recipe out there. So if you see us making something today and you want to know the recipe, just shoot me a message. I'll give it up to you. We've got 3 amazing chefs coming on today. I'm fucking over the moon getting a chance just for 15 minutes to chat with each of them. We have Chef Justin Lebo from Alberta, Chef Matthew Stowe from BC, and Chef Jeremy Charles out in Newfoundland. It's going to be really cool. We really want to sort of touch on what the culinary industry is going through right now. And when we say culinary industry, it doesn't mean just the restaurants. It's anything service related. If you think about where we get food, it's everywhere. Whether we're going to a ball game, hockey game, whether we're out, even just the little carts and stands that pop up. So it's a trying time for everyone, and we're going to shine a little bit of light on the culinary industry. But together we want to come together and try and give back. Second Harvest, they're environmental because they're saving food waste. They're getting food to people who are hungry. And we just want to do something to give back to them. I don't even know if they know that we're doing this for them. But last that I checked, we were at $600 raised. Our goal is $5,000. I think anything we get, the fact we've already got $600 in there really means a lot. And this shines a good light on the cannabis industry and cannabis users. So I am super excited to have our first guest come on. Her name is Shy. You can find her as the Busy Bud Tender. And she's going to come and celebrate the first 420 with us out in Toronto. So let's see if Bobby. Oh, I did it!
Hello.
How's it going?
Pretty good. I'm actually not in Toronto. I'm in beautiful Alberta, which is
Right.
sunny and really nice.
No, we're celebrating the 420 in
I see.
Alberta.
I see.
Yeah,
Well, regardless, it's looking
you're
really nice in Alberta for the first time, probably in the entire year. So we're all really peachy.
where in Alberta?
I'm in Calgary.
In Calgary, okay. But I actually lived in Calgary for 2 years. It's
Oh,
where
cool.
I first started the Nomad Cook was in Calgary, and I learned the hard way is that you don't plant a garden until after May long.
Yeah, it's
Because
been
it
a
will snow
nightmare.
in May before May long weekend, and it will ruin.
Yeah.
And I one year planted all my vegetables and herbs. I had this little space to grow, and I
Mm.
was so excited because it was nice. And then yeah, it hailed and it destroyed everything. So
Yeah, no, the weather here is kind of a nightmare, but it gets your blood rolling in Alberta. So what can you do?
yeah, right. So you're in Calgary, and now Calgary's been kind of labeled like the cannabis capital of Canada. And that, just to be
Hmm.
honest, I never understood it. I do now is because they have the most dispensaries, which
Yeah.
okay, fine. But I'm like, that's a pretty lofty title to be throwing out. But maybe talk a little bit about the cannabis culture scene in Calgary, and what you're doing in that.
Sure. So I think growing up in Calgary, you would never ever think that we were the weed capital of anywhere, frankly. I mean, it's a very conservative place. And my brother lives out in Vancouver. And whenever I would visit him, we would go to, at the time, the gray market dispensaries that were looking like Apple stores 5 years ago. And then I went out to school in Ontario, and then everyone was like, "Oh, like you don't go to dispensaries? Like, where do you get your weed from?" And I was like, "Oh, I didn't know that this was a thing that everyone else was experiencing in Canada." So it's pretty funny now that I come back home, and there's stores everywhere. My parents and their friends are all super into it, and they're like going to their nearest Canna Cabana and just having a time. No, it's a very different world than it was like 5, 10 years ago.
So we got 1 minute until 420 in Toronto. Well, so let's celebrate. I don't know. Do you've got anything you want to?
I do indeed. I have my Toki 510 with a little Aurora sativa blend. So let me just turn this bad boy on.
I had Nectar Extracts, a company out from Vancouver, market brand. They sent me out a nice little care package today. Some nice swag to give away, and a chef's got to sample the product, right? So.
Oh yes, I very much get that.
So again, I was very surprised to see Alberta as a whole how progressive they are actually with cannabis. I always do look at it as a conservative market, but
Mhm.
Edmonton is a foodie capital. Every one of my dinners sells out there. Any sort of food event that comes in there really gets sort of gobbled up by the people. It's very different when you go to Calgary. I think Calgary is very kind of directed by the oil dollar, whether people, have the money to spend or not. So, they're kind of saying that Edmonton may be the first place in Canada to actually have these consumption lounges, and that is kind of moving in that food direction. So, what's your sort of thought and feel of how Alberta has been
Mhm.
running since we've legalized?
Well, I gotta say, firstly, I can never talk anything good about Edmonton. It's just in my blood as a, raised Calgarian. I cannot do it. I cannot bring myself to do it. So I'm just gonna skip that part. But Alberta as a whole, I think that especially since I've left the province and come back, what I've really noticed is that I think that Albertans are entrepreneurs at heart. They really like to take the bull by the horns and like do what they can, whether it's like go climb a mountain on the weekend or make a lot of money in oil when that's doing well, or if it's a brand new industry. I think Albertans are very geared to just jump on the gun and figure out what they can. I think that that's what's really cool about this province, especially in the cannabis space.
Yeah, that's very cool. So we've got some prizes to give away, and
Mm-hmm.
the prize we wanted to give away, this was actually a Nova sous vide. So do you know what a sous vide is?
So I actually do. My roommates in university just last year had a sous vide, and it was really cool. I never got to use it, but I remember they were obsessed with it, and I got to hear lots about it. So I'm a little jealous that we didn't rig it and I didn't win, but it's fine. We're just gonna let it go.
I had so many people message me, be like, "You're gonna pick me, right?" And I'm like, "Listen, I want to keep half this shit for myself. I don't want to give it away." Like when those two bombs came, I'm like, but no. So the sous vide is great because let alone what it does for actual meat and that, what it allows us to do with cannabis is, again, we're controlling the temperature. So we're vac sealing. So I'm taking my fat, I take my fresh flower. Now let's say the terpene profile, we're getting some pinene, some caryophyllene, some myrcene. So it's got that sort of, diesely, musky aroma to it. We're going to lose that through the transition process. So one of the things is I work with a company called Lab Effects, and they've sent me out all these are terpenes right here. So and these are cannabis derived terpenes. I've got this here is limonene, pinene. We've got everything, and we're kind of experimenting to bring that flavor back. But what I like to do with this sous vide is actually take those botanical terpenes and put them in from the beginning. Again, we're going to build flavor. So I'm going to take some fresh mint. I'm going to take a little bit of rosemary and that and put it right in with the butter, vac seal it, cook it in the sous vide. So when that butter's finished, when that oil is finished, it already starts to have those aromas of that original strain. Because what I want is when you sit down and take a bite, and this is a Romulan haze, and you take a bite of it, you're going to go to the dispensary one day and you're going to see Romulan haze, and you're going to remember that bite of food, and you're probably going to buy that cannabis, right? Yeah. So we can make those correlations that...
No, I love that. I mean, I did some baking myself for 420, and I decarbed this time, which the last time I baked, I didn't decarb just because I, at the time, wasn't as sure about it. And this time I found that it was a lot more dank tasting than it was in the past, and I was kind of weary about it. So I was like listening to the early part of the live stream, and that, I don't know, I feel like I have a lot to learn from you, and I'm very excited for it.
The thing is like, you gotta think why we've been taught to decarb, right? Why is it constantly decarb, decarb, decarb? And, the reason is it was always about getting high as fuck off that brownie, right? Give me some weed, let's put it in, right? But now looking at it from the chef's point of view, like, taste is everything, right?
Yeah.
And I actually got to work with some chefs in New York. It's a thing called 20 past 4. And they've been around for 3-4 years doing underground pop-up dinners. His name is Chef Chris Cedeno. And that was the first time I've seen someone not decarb. And originally, he showed me his fats, his butters, and they were beautiful. And I said, why aren't you decarbing? And he's like, well, I just feel it takes away the taste and the flavor. And it really got my mind kind of going on it. And like the chef has never taken this and said, no, I think this is the proper way. So again, if you want to get really stoned, then decarb. Get the maximum percentage of THC out of it. Right? 100%. But if you want to really transition flavors and that, we just take a little more time. We do different steps, right?
And then even for me, I think that I'm a glutton at heart. So when I make something, I want to have a decent amount of it. And it sucks when I make something that's infused and I can't even eat most of it just because I'm worried about myself.
Yeah, no, it's we're really big components. I also make these tinctures here. So it's an isolate. We do THC and we do CBD as well. And so this is how at my events, we have 50 people come into a room. We've got 50 different tolerance levels. And I want to make sure everyone has the same experience, whether they smoke once every day or whether they've never smoked in their life and they're super nervous. I need both those people to leave with the same experience of that was fun. So to be able to do that, what we do is we create sort of, you still always have a choice, no cannabis. So I will cook some food that doesn't have any cannabis in it in case any of those people come, right? I also then, there's 10 milligrams in all 4 courses combined, right? So it's a low dosage right across the board because that's what I'm going to give to someone that's brand new. 10 milligrams of THC with 30 milligrams of CBD to give them a balance over a 2-hour period of time. what I can do with these tinctures, because they're flavorless and odorless, is now we can pinpoint and drop them on top. You know, I need every plate to have 1 scoop of sauce. I can't do 3 scoops on one plate, 1 scoop, 2 scoops. It has to be consistent. So with these tinctures, you know, a couple drops is 10 milligrams. We can just, you know, tuck in some extra THC so that the person, like myself, that can have a couple 100 milligrams, you know, we still need to give them that sort of level. So.
No, I get that 100%. I'm super into that.
So you haven't been to any of my dinners, have you?
Not yet, but I have heard of them genuinely, and I would love to at some point when the quarantine is over, because again, I'm a glutton and I like cannabis, so it kind of just puts 2 and 2 together for me.
I can see 7 months of events canceled. A couple, you know, I'm a positive on happen. It's just about what we're going to do going forward. My product line will be coming out sooner than expected. So a terpene, we're going to start releasing some products that are within the 10 milligram limit, so that everything's within regulation, and we can start seeing products within the dispensaries, you know, across the country. Sorry, I just lost my train of thought. And must be the.
It's 420. It's all good. I'm pretty sure that's what you're supposed to do, is lose your train of thought today.
But what my plan to do is, because we had a whole month of events that were canceled in Calgary, Edmonton, Vancouver, and Toronto, and Montreal. Literally, I had the busiest April set. So I am anticipating come end of June that the regulations will be relaxed, where gatherings of 10 people will be allowed. So anyone who does have a ticket to a postponed event, we'll be having a makeup date. I'm going to do pop-ups where we only take 8 people. And there'll be 2 tables that seat 4 within the room. You know, there'll be myself and a server, and that'll be it. And, you know, I'm going to come to each city. I'll spend a good 4 days there. I think people are going to be really looking forward to getting back and having that dining experience. But, you know, we got to be safe about it. So.
No, 100%. I mean, I was not supposed to be spending 420 in my parents' house. Like, I was supposed to be in Asia right now, traveling post-graduation. So, you know what? You make what you do. At least I can be here with you guys and help support a good cause. And we're safe and healthy, and the weather's looking okay. So I'm very grateful overall.
Do your parents partake?
So kind of. My mom does. And then my dad is like medium. He's more of a cigar and wine guy, kind of old school. But then occasionally I'll like slip him and be like, hey, like, do you want to try this maybe one day? And then he'd be like, I don't know. It's a whole thing. But they are very nice about it and very liberal, which is nice.
That's great. So we got that winner for the Innova sous vide.
Yes, indeed.
Who it was. Why don't you make that announcement?
Yeah, so their Instagram handle, and I don't even know how to pronounce it because there's characters in it, but it's at _ Barnes, which I did look at their comment, and they were really excited to cook with the sous vide with cannabis. So I'm actually very happy that this person won.
Excited for makeup days. Great. Yes. So we will message you in your inbox. I also have 2 tinctures to give away. So if the first person that can tell me what year I lived in Calgary will win those 2 tinctures. Right?
The first person who says that they live in Calgary?
No, I lived in Calgary. What year did I live in Calgary
as
the Nomad cook? Or when did I leave? Yeah, that's a little too detailed. But some of the year was. I got 2 tinctures for you. You've got 1 minute and 30 seconds to answer. It'll pop up in the feed here.
If this was a question about me, I almost hope that someone wouldn't know what year I left or came back, because that's almost just like too personal.
Well, if you know the story of the Nomad cook, then
yeah.
But maybe I need to come up with better questions. But no one's even taking a stab at a guess. That's what I would have been doing. So, oh well. Well, I just want to say thank you so much for coming and connecting. Like I said, this is something new. We're kind of 2010. No, I'm not that old. But good guess. No, not 2013.
Just keep going up by 1 year, and then until you say yes.
To do it. It's pretty simple. No, not 2011. We got 45 seconds, and then this is over. 2015, we got a winner. Boom. Veet. Veet Stay, Veet Ecstasy. All right, Veet Ecstasy. Go on Instagram and DM me your details right now, and we will mail you out these tinctures as long as you're in Canada.
Travis, thank you so much for having me. I've had a ball, and I hope that you have a solid rest of your 420.
And I look forward to serving you one day.
Yes.
I miss cooking for people. So thank you for all the knowledge you're putting out there. Keep being that positive influence, and look forward to meeting you face to face one day.
Thank you so much. Take care, everyone.
Cheers. Bye. How about that? All right. Next up, Bobby. And we can't hear you.
Oh, I just want to quickly interject just to say that things are delayed. So when you ask that contest question, it'll probably take a minute for the feed to catch up, for everyone quickly entering answers, because it all just came running when that happened.
Is this live, our conversation?
Yes.
Cool. Sure. All right. We're going to go on to our next guest. There we go again. Chef Justin, how's it going?
Good. How are you?
How's it going?
Good. Can you hear me?
I can. Can you hear me?
Yep. Yep.
So whereabouts are you right now?
I'm in Banff.
Banff.
Also Alberta.
Alberta, yes. Good. We're starting strong. You know, Alberta is where I found my passion for food. Actually.
Really?
Yeah, I used to work in oil and gas. I got onto MasterChef and a whole series of events that led me to here back in 2015. But I moved to Edmonton, and the food culture there just blew me away. You know, the groups of people eating together and ordering like the whole menu and sharing. And to be honest, your restaurant was my favorite in Calgary. Every time I used to go down and take clients out, Model Milk was always a place that I loved going to. And, you know, I had a chance a couple times to sit at the pass while you were working. So was a fan a long time ago.
Yeah. It's fun. That's for sure.
So
it's a little dark in there these days, but we'll see.
Yeah, it's maybe talk a little bit about the hardships Alberta's just faced, in the last 6 years. I literally left oil and gas in 2015. I got laid off, and that's what started my culinary journey. I've seen how hard it is, or what has been, for both cities to come back, and now this.
Well, I think in 2015 we started what has been this long, slow burn of a recession because you're a prime example of the downturn in oil and gas, and it took a little while for you to feel it on the street level, probably about 18 months or 2 years, but it's if you could rejig your business model and figure out how to adjust to the new normal, things weren't too bad. I mean, maybe 2014, those years were kind of unrealistic for our economy, but definitely we felt it afterwards. It's a little bit dismal for the last 4 or 5 years. We'll see what happens on the other side of this, because as you know, oil's probably also taken a hammering as this is going on as well. So it's anyone's guess.
Yeah, it's I think it's probably got one of the hardest up climbs to come out of this, because it's both economies have been hit, so are both sectors at the same time, right? So
yeah, it's like it's gonna feel in Alberta. I feel like it's gonna feel you have this one crisis right now with COVID, and on the heels of it, we're gonna have to deal with the oil and gas crisis. That's gonna be a result.
Yeah. So I started cooking with cannabis 2 years ago. When I did the very first one on 420, it was going to be a one-off thing. It was a pop-up out of my house. I started having a lot of fun with it, which is why I moved in this direction. Just watching the people at my table, watching 20-year-olds and 60-year-olds become friends and trade stories. I couldn't have been more off about who's coming in. Now, the thing I've been a component of over the last year and a half since we've legalized is we still have not seen one culinary institution step up to offer any sort of program in it. There's no real formal education out there, even safety procedures and that. Right now, it is people at home, trial and error, right?
Well, I mean, right now it's in Alberta. I can't speak for the rest of the country, but in Alberta, because it's AGLC legislated, unless it's changed in the last 4 months, which could very well be, we were sort of told or led to believe that if we held a liquor license, that we were not allowed to serve both at the same time on premise. So it sort of isolated us from that whole movement or exploration, because literally they were saying there was all these rules around it that you could do this and you couldn't do that, and eventually we're going to get there. But to your point, listening to you talk earlier about how the 10 milligrams over 4 courses, I think that's everyone's concern, is that how do you regulate the dosage in each dish for each guest, especially with the fact that if you're not if everybody has a different tolerance and somebody gets carried away and adds a little too much, and you're ingesting it, that's 8 hours.
Yeah, no,
so I think the science has to get a little more accurate around it for us. It's going to be like baking. Like, as you know, baking it's chemistry and physics, and it's exact. It's not like in a savory kitchen, I can adjust fat, I can adjust acid. Like in baking, if you miss a principle, you're done.
Where I see culinary cannabis going, I think the THC thing is such a small fraction of it. So terpenes are what give us the therapeutic effects of cannabis. They also are what give us the aromas and everything. We also find terpenes in lemons and mint and pine cones, and we lose those terpenes in the cooking process, but we can now start to extract them, and they're really just essential oils, but we can really now start taking these and adding them into different cold sauce applications and that. So I think the terpenes is what's really going to, catch the culinary world. But chefs are going to think, hey, may come up with a new flavor. This may lead somewhere new with smells and that. And CBD. I'm seeing, I was just down in the States doing a presentation for country club chefs. They want to know about CBD because it doesn't have,
psychoactive.
Correct. And it's more about the body. My big push has been, let's use superfoods like ginger and turmeric and omega fat 3s like salmon, and create these really healthy dishes where we add CBD. Because you'll get the question like, why do I want to put that in my food, right? Well, here, let's make you a dish, and this is a great thing to eat after playing golf, right? Your body's going to be sore.
I'm a huge proponent of CBD as a form of therapy or anti-inflammatory, as an alternative to Advil or aspirin or anything else. Like I got on that train about 1.5 years ago for my knees and my hips, and and I fooled around with a whole bunch of different applications with it. But I think therein lies the biggest leap forward, is if you're playing around with these things rather than just straight THC. You have a wider spectrum to sort of explore. Then you don't want to put somebody into a vegetative state the second course in.
No, absolutely. I think, again, I don't think I see THC in our restaurants for a very long time, but I think Canada has a window. We're the first country that can legally do this as chefs, and our culinary institutions need to get behind. And even if it is just I really think we could capture tourists coming here because they're getting everything, and this cuisine that's only being made, right now in this part. Because once America becomes fully legal, the amount of money down there, it's really going to trump anything that we can sort of do. So, yeah.
I think to a certain extent too, there's a fair amount of amongst chefs is that you got to make sure that this is handled properly and done right, because you don't want to be seen as this sort of gimmick, or this is that you've got this like molecular thing, or it's like you're a one-trick pony, you just do this. Like, it's got to actually enhance and make sense to what we're already doing. And I think to your point earlier with terpenes and CBD, I think that's where the market move forward is for us, is that it lends some legitimacy to what we already do.
Yeah, it's an ingredient.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
Right. We're if we treat it like any other expensive ingredient we come in. Cannabis derived terpenes are very expensive. You can get botanical terpenes that are, actually come from mints and that, and they use botanical terpenes to flavor vape pens. So it's very cheap to go about those. But, as chefs, we always want the fresh, real ingredients. We'll pay for anything that it makes sense going into what we're doing. So, yeah, I that's sort of what my big push right now is. I want to make sure that the 18-year-old kid that coming up that really wants to learn everything and will have every opportunity to take this where it can go in culinary has those opportunities. So,
For sure. I think it's going to start with the education, because I think right now the big kind of misnomer with some of this stuff is exactly your point. Like, oh, you're going to cook with cannabis. Like, why do I want to? I don't want to sit. That you need to get the rest of the information out about what you mean by I'm going to cook with cannabis, because I think people are just going to make the leap to THC and the effect of THC, and it's kind of like, well, you're just going to feed me edibles. And I think that's a disservice to how much potential there is out there.
Yeah, no, and it's one thing I've been a big proponent of is the image that we give off. When people think of edibles, the brownies, the gummies, they all have their place. But when I do my pop-up dinners, it's about an experience. We incorporate live music. We purposely sit you with strangers, right? We want to break that regular conversation up. And I was coming up on my 4,000th guest since I started 2 years ago. And you'd be shocked at the people that were coming in that, I did, just a quick little story, a brunch lesson in Camrose, in the little farm town near Edmonton. And the host said, please, no cannabis. It's too conservative of a group. I said, okay. So we just did classic brunch demo, and then we fed them all. And at the end, I said, does anyone have any questions? Well, they all raised their hand and wanted to know about CBD. And I was actually doing a pop-up in Edmonton the next night, and 6 of the farmers bought tickets, all in their 60s. They came out, and 4 of them did THC, the very entry level, for the first time in their lives. And they emailed me the next day, and they were like, that was so enjoyable. I still got up at 5:30 and worked in the morning, and we laughed the whole way home. So, those little things along the way, the demographic that you think would be the last to turn towards this, it gives
it surprises you sometimes.
Yeah, absolutely. So we got a couple of minutes left. I know you've had a lot of big changes in your life. What's sort of your future plans? What's next for you, Chef?
I'm trying to get some restaurants in Banff off the ground. So I had come out and started working on them just before everything got shut down. So we're kind of just right now just in a holding pattern, waiting for everything to come back around. And it's been an interesting process the last 6 to 8 weeks, but there probably isn't a lot of better places to be self-isolating than in Banff. So I really can't complain.
I feel the same being on the island right now.
Yeah.
We're catching like 200 spot prawns a day, and the commercial guys don't start until May 1st. So, I'm getting out there twice a day right now and getting it all in while I can, and I'm going to have a nice little.
It's so funny when you drop the trap and you come back in an hour and you're like, it's ridiculous out there.
We've there's Owen Sound is where we go for Dungeness crab, and there's just this sort of unwritten rule. Sometimes you'll pull your trap up and there'll be cans of beer in there, and so we pull it up once there was 6 beers. And my friend's like, "That's amazing!" And I go, "No, that means they took 6 crabs from the trap.
It means they took our crabs and left us beers.
Put a beer in there, right?" And so we've literally gone there before. You usually get a couple beers in your trap, and you know what? If everyone plays by the rules, I'm okay with that, because I'm just going to go over to the next trap and pass the beers along.
Totally. I think you just like keep beers in the boat.
Yeah.
Fill your bits. You didn't hear it from me, but congratulations. That's such a great part of the world to be waiting this out in, for sure.
Yeah, it's nice. My family's here. My dad's lived in Singapore for the last 10 years, so I don't ever get to spend time with them, and that's as much as I wish I was working, I think you got to look at, how can you come out of this better, right? And just get to spend time with family. And even, I can't tell you the last time I cooked for myself 5 weeks in a row,
Really?
Yeah. So last question for you, chef. You've just worked a 12-hour day. You're starving. What do you eat at 1 a.m? What's your go-to?
Nachos or quesadillas, burritos,
Yeah.
something with tortillas, hands down every time. Tortillas with some sort of melty cheese in there, maybe bacon, maybe sausage, maybe nachos, maybe avocado. But yeah,
I think
hands down.
that fits perfect for today's theme.
Perfect. All right. Thanks for having
All
me.
right. Hey, thanks so much, chef. Appreciate
Cheers.
it.
Bye.
Cheers. All right. How about that? Okay. We're going to go off to a musical act. Up next, you've been to any of my events in the last 7 months. You've seen this girl perform. One badass. Her name is Chef Joe. Not Chef. I'm stoned. Her name is Jody B from Kelowna. Jody, what do you got?
Hey, everybody. My name is Jody B. Thanks for having me. I first met Travis here in Kelowna for a Mother's Day brunch. We actually have been working together for quite a while now. I usually perform at his dinners. So thanks for having me, the Nomad Cook. And today we're raising money for Second Harvest. So happy 420, everyone.
It's like people only do things because they get paid. And that's just really sad.
So blinded by love, so blinded by love. Can't you see? Can't you see? Can't you see? So blinded by love.
It's like people only do things because they get paid. And that's just really sad.
scared, cowardly, defenseless, docile, relentless, trapped with the passion, security, and rage. Clip my feathers like a bird in a cage. Yeah, let out the rage. Let it out, get it out, forgive it and forget it. Repetitive cycle subsides to regret. Shit, rich defense, immense guilt to believe. Like punch from the inside, being so naive. It's eaten away from so deep within. These moths feasting. Twisted in, confident and slick, you hit slides to your teeth. I don't stand a chance in this dance, you got me beat. Maybe I'm twisted and maybe it's me. Either way, this just wasn't meant to be, but can you blame me? With our history, the real opportunities that seize a flee. So blinded by love, so blinded by love, by love. Yeah, now washed away, hitting shores by the brake line. Better trust him one day. The moon pulls me back in time, and I use this crutch as Mary Jane for when shit hits the fan, for when shit gets insane. Vibing, chilling, stress, master frail. Taking account to sit back, bust, spark, back and inhale. Definition of hope, rendition is this: to be loved, to feel up, to breathe, feel, and kiss. Yes, express the thoughts in your mind. Introduce a flow to break down and unwind. Help yourself through the connections of a verse. Work through the thoughts of what arose first. You see what I did here? I expressed and released. Now left content, I'm refreshed from the beats. So blinded by love, by love. So blinded by love, by love. Can't you see? Can't you see? Can't you see? So blinded by love, yeah, blinded by love. All right, so that was an original of mine. Just gonna roll right into it. up in here in the nest. When everyone around you tells you what's best, I gotta trust my gut, yeah, I gotta cut my ties. Leap into the unknown and learn to fly. Determination flickers from the tip of my tongue. Impatience overcomes a wise young one. Speak with intentions, impress my surroundings. Fixed on the earth, gotta keep my ground. And past experience got you filled with the hate. Full of negativity, you can't trust fate. Gotta utilize this comment, but the lyrics spilling out of my brain like vomit. This is my war cry. This is my war cry. This is my war cry. Breaking down from the bottom of the sea. My war cry. And my dreams keep running through my brain, constantly from going insane, from joining the rest of the pact. Yeah, they lost their dreams on the hard fact that no one's gonna carry you there, fact that no one wants to play fair, fact that the competition is there, yeah, fact that the failure is a real scare, yeah, based on the facts, on a feeling in the world, based on the facts, you ain't living in a girl, based on the facts, on a feeling in the world, yeah, based on the facts. My war cry. Yeah, my war cry. This is my war cry. Breaking down from the bottom of the sea. My war cry. Light 'em up, y'all. 420. It's been a long ride. It's been a nice night with you. For now, with you. For now, I drag this cat out, worry and pain across my eyes. As I look deep working myself to the bone, justifying your actions, and I don't know what went wrong, but I'm addicted to your passion. So don't tell me, yeah, don't tell me. So don't tell me that I want, that I want. It's been a long ride. It's been a nice night with you for now. With you for now. Thank you guys so much. Again, I'm Jody B. Thanks for the Nomad Cook. And yeah, raising money for Second Harvest. Happy 420, y'all.
Wow, Jody B. Oh, I missed that. This little backstory on Jody B and I. As she mentioned, she came out and did an event we did at an apple cidery out in Kelowna. She came out and she played music the first time, and I was like, her sister was there playing the saxophone. I was like, fuck. I'm like, you're really, really good. I mean, do you want to start traveling around Canada with me and doing events? And because she worked for Air Canada as well, she was able to do it. So if you've been to any Nomad Cook events, pretty much from last summer until now, you've seen this girl. Amazing. And we did this big Christmas event called the Nomad Christmas, and her and her sister came and played. We had Nick Crook. I feel cannabis and music just, come on, right? They just go together. And really, since having Jody part of our events, it's really brought, really brought just the experience to the next level. So we're going to do a couple things here. Our next guests coming up, our next two cannabis sort of influencer, cannabis industry guests are going to come from California. One from SoCal, one from NoCal. And we're just going to talk a little bit about sort of the market and what's going on down there. I've been spending a fair amount of time in California over the last year. As I mentioned, I was actually writing my cookbook in San Francisco when the world all came to an end. Not to an end, paused, right? So the cookbook's still getting developed in that. But while I was down there, I actually got in touch with a company called Lab Effects out of Colorado. Lab Effects is a terpene company. And so they sent me out this huge box of cannabis-derived terpenes, which aren't easy to get your hands on. Everything limonene, myrcene, caryophyllene, pinene, linalool. And then they gave me these sweet little blends. And this one here is like a blueberry yum. So these are, made to resemble the actual strain. They actually sent out some powdered terpenes. So this is stuff we can't find in Canada yet, but we are going to start putting it out there, Nomad Cook. So we're going to do right now, they sent me out some CBD hash. And what I want to do here is I've got some oil that I'm just heating up right now. So we're going to add this CBD hash into the oil. And the reason we're going to go and do this is we actually just want to start to almost flavor that oil, right? We're not going to transition a lot of the CBD all the way to the final product. But again, we want to start building flavors in that. So as you can kind of see right there. So literally, I have my hash. Okay. I'm going to squeeze it down. And we're almost like flavoring, right? We're just taking that nice you really get that sort of fresh hash smell. Bending over too much. right? Now I used a canola oil there. Olive oil burns at a lower temperature, so we're a little bit hot there. So that hash is going to sit in there. It's kind of dissolving, but it's adding some really nice flavor into that oil. And what we're going to do with that oil once it cools down is we're going to make a salad dressing out of it, and we're going to add some actual terpenes to it to really bring back. Yes, that is oil. So I put 2 tablespoons of vegetable oil. And we are going to get in a couple hours, we're going to add that to a sauce. So with the maple syrup that's getting infused in the Levo machine, and with, yes, I do one-on-one classes. We even do the one-on-one classes where you can connect virtually. And yeah, so I'm hoping come mid-June, we can start doing things again, whether they're small cooking lessons. You can have me come over, get 6 of your friends together at your house, and we do a little cooking lesson. We learn 3 courses. We learn the sort of basics, and we can help. I think the real key thing to understand is the math, right? I know math was probably my least favorite subject in high school, and I remember seeing some equations, and I was like, when the fuck am I ever going to need to know this? Well, guess what? Fucking wish I would have paid attention to math class. No, I've started to figure out, the advantage that we have here in Canada is that we can go to a lab and get things tested. I don't know really what the rules are in the States. I'm sure in the States where it's recreational legal, you can go testing there. But I know, speaking to the chefs out of New York, they need to have the actual equipment themselves, right? There is a company that I work with, Lab Analytics, YVR. Happy 420, Butter Chef. Yeah, Lab Analytics, YVR. They do all my testing. So I bring stuff in. So anytime we do servings, for our large pop-ups and dinners, that's how I know exactly what's in there. So understanding the math, so at least you can have a ballpark of going in with what you want. So we're going to head over to our next guest here. He's calling all the way in from Los Angeles. If you follow on Instagram, it's Wonder Brett. And we're going to just talk a little bit about the California scene. And, let's light one up with them. Celebrate. It's 420, I think, coming up in like Chicago, Winnipeg.
What's up, buddy? How you doing?
What's up? Happy 420.
Thank you. Happy 420 to you too. How are
We're
you doing?
about. I'm doing good, man. It's a very different 420 than I'm used to. Normally, I'm cooking for hundreds of people and bouncing around. But we're making the best with the situation that we have.
Yeah, I think that's what we're all doing here.
Yeah. Where now? You said you're in LA.
Yeah, we're in. Our company was based out of LA. We kind of came out of San Fernando Valley. Our facility that we're at right now is in Long Beach. It's about an hour south of LA, and that's where we are right now. I'm just taking a little break in our this little area here. Has a cool little backdrop, so I thought this would work. But just to give everybody kind of look, this is the area that we're going to expand into on our phase 2. Our phase 1 is built on the other side already and been operating a 60,000 square foot facility on that side, and this will be the phase 2 expansion. So I'll spin this camera around. You can see the warehouse.
Wow. Beautiful. Awesome. So
This will be phase 2 when it comes online.
How long have you guys been sort of up and going? Did you start medical and then move in with recreational, or?
Yeah. So my partner and I, we've been growing in California for about 23 years, since like the late 90s.
I'm gonna spark one up.
Yeah, go for it. I wish I could smoke with you guys right now, but we're on our property here. We can't smoke right now, but sure you can do it for me. So,
cheers.
Yes, cheers. So we started growing, and we were doing it for a long time, and then started to get to the Prop 215 era. and we made our brand, and we're centrally based out of LA and really growing from there. And then we transitioned into a much bigger facility here when it got to the rec market. So,
what you know, I started coming actually March of 2019 was the first time I came down to San Francisco. I did an event there, and then I kept coming back, and really just seeing the sort of culinary cannabis space evolving down there. Maybe just talk a little bit about your experience with it and where you think it's at, because I know Canada's very interested with what's going on in California.
Yeah, just for clarity, you talking about the cooking and the culinary side, right?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. Internet. But yeah, I mean, out here we've been having these events for the past, I think, 3-4 years. We've been working with the Cannabis Supper Club.
Yeah.
And you know, they were a really good fit for us because it was all about the flavor matching and the pairings.
Yeah.
And we're one of the few brands that really has like true flavors, that when we call something the blueberry, it tastes like blueberry. When we call something strawberry, it tastes like strawberry, and lemon, and all these things, so forth. And so when you start pairing these things with the right chefs at these events, you put together a special event, and I think that is like a great experience. It kind of feels like it's right out of TV. For most people, that five-star experience is like they come to the events, and they kind of get educated by a few brands. They get educated by how the chef has made these very unique and intricate combinations of the food that he's offering, and with the pairings. And when you put really good weed with good chefs, it ends up being like one of the best experiences that you can put together for people. I think that when the chef is really creative, and one of the chefs at the last event he did, he made a like an orange soda ice cream that was amazing, that really went great with our orange sunset flower. And I was totally blown away how similar he actually got the flavors to be from the food, even though he was doing it from basically like an orange soda.
Yeah. That's what obviously Canada, we fully legalized a year and a half ago. There's still a ton of regulation restrictions. And so what I've been doing is working with the licensed producers, where they'll give me their strain and I will develop a dish outwards. So I look at the terpene profiles in that strain, and then I want that to come out. Again, if we're getting that minty gassiness with a little bit of piney rosemary, well, I want you to taste that when you bite it, right? So, I don't decarb. I find it kills all the terpenes. Low and slow works, and really building flavors. Using botanical terpenes naturally from mint and rosemary and that right into the fats from the beginning, so that we can slowly build the flavor up, right? Our biggest struggle up here in Canada is our edibles that are allowed to be sold in stores are 10 milligram max. And you're only allowed to buy 12 10 milligrams at once. Well, I could consume 300-400 milligrams. So I'm never going to go to 3 different stores and buy, so, we're facing a real sort of, I still feel like an uphill battle. Maybe talk a little bit about what you guys have gone through in California, right? And where have you seen the regulations kind of ease up, the restrictions ease up? Are things getting easier or harder?
I think they get harder. Regulations have not eased up here. It's a lot of different things that kind of working against you in this marketplace right now. I mean, real estate is very expensive. The cost of entry point to just even get a licensed facility is in the millions of dollars. So that just kind of knocks a ton of people out of the game right out the park, right at the start. Then when you do get in the marketplace, you're dealing with like every different city here has different fire codes, and There's no standardized system for getting across the finish line. So you might have some, fire inspector in one city that's totally over the top, and then somewhere else you're talking where they're non-existent. So there's all types of problems just to get started. Once you do get started, and then you kind of get out there, you realize that they've chopped the business up into so many different licenses that you need to have, that it's really hard to get all those licenses in one person's hand, and you can, like, how you've operated your business for 20 years.
Right.
Now it's like you have to have somebody for packaging, somebody for distribution, somebody for testing, and then you have to have the storefront and your cultivation. There's 5 licenses right there just to, try and get some sort of semblance of a vertical that will create a margin, because the last thing that they really did to really hurt us all here, I just don't understand California sometimes. I love this place, don't get me wrong, but the way that they design this, it's either very deliberate to try and really stifle the business, or it's just very poorly thought through. So one or the other, it's still bad. And you have a $150 a pound tax just for producing the flower, whether you sell it or not. That is a pretty heavy cost, for any startup. We're all startups here. And then you have a 27% tax for excise tax, which is us just selling the product. Now that we've got taxed on already, we're getting another 27% tax on that from a different, legislative body within the state. And then you have the sales tax is 37%. So when the customer goes to the counter, they might see something that's like, wow, I can't believe this is $70 for an eighth out the door. But I'm also scratching my head going, wow, I sold that eighth to the store for $20. And because of distribution, taxes, and then the middlemen of the stores and all this stuff, that the cheapest it could be out of the store was $70. So I find these things to be just kind of like outrageous for the most part, and so counterproductive to trying to build a new emerging marketplace. Even with all that being said, I mean, I think we're one of the few brands that is doing well and thriving in this market space because we deliver a good product at a pretty affordable price. Even with all those things being said, it's, when you start just comparing apples to, apples side by side on the shelf, we take over in that sense that we, for the same dollar for what you could buy from us from somebody else, you rather just buy our product most of the time.
You see Canada really going through our growing pains right now. I mean, our gray market, or our legacy market that we like to call it, it's quadrupled in size. And how the legal system is going to work at twice the price and half the quality, it's just not, right? So we're starting to see, they're starting to ease up. They're starting to give out more smaller grower licenses in BC because they realize there's a ton of talented growers living in BC, right? And they really want to produce these small sort of craft strains and that, right? So, even on the culinary side, still all of my dinners are underground. We have to keep private location, and it works. But, I'm really pushing for the culinary institutes to step up and offer the education system. So, if we're not going to set up and develop a standardized, safety practices, safety procedures, techniques, terminology, we're never going to see the sort of culinary, cannabis aspect be taken really serious. So, I do you get encouraged by seeing where Canada's going for your market?
Man, it's hard to predict the future right now. It was a little bit easier to predict the future before, like, the pandemic. And, maybe once the pandemic is over and things kind of ease up and get back to a place of, normal, regular life, it'd be easier to predict these things. But I think that everything kind of is like a Trojan horse when it comes to the cannabis world. And, like, even when it was the Prop 215 era, I was like, it's the first step in the right direction. And then, people become more used to and educated about this product and comfortable with it. And even though California has been on the forefront of Prop 215 medical, like it's still a slow moving battle where, you know, it's moving in the right direction, but the people that are in power don't quite talk to the people that are on the ground. And the people that are in power talk to big corporations about how they would like it. And those big corporations think of real clever ways to kind of smush out the little guy a lot. So I think it's, you know, they don't understand how resilient the stoner community is, though.
That's true.
And how many things and how many, you know, hurdles we've already had to overcome from the illegal world to here now. So I think it's just a matter of time before people become more educated and enlightened on like the truth of cannabis and the edible market and how safe this product is. And its classification should be, you know, completely different.
Yeah, you know, 4,000 guests in 2 years, and I've yet to have to kick anyone out or have anyone cause a problem. You know, they're the most enjoyable groups. We actually did a dinner on an apple cidery, and they asked for no edibles, but they said smoking was fine. So we paired food with the smoke, and you got to smoke at your table. And at the end of the night, when it was over, the music was done, everyone got up, paid their bill, and left. And the owner of the cidery said, last week we had a cider pairing. I had to kick 4 people out, and these people didn't pay for their tab. She goes, I'll have the cannabis community back for dinner anytime you want.
Yeah.
So we got 2 bongs to give away from Gear. They donated them out. We had a contest running on Instagram. So the winners are at c.lenson and at Chef Ryan Buckley. So I'll shoot you guys the information out there. And then we wanted to give away something for anyone from California that may be in here. So I've got some dinners planned down there once things get back to normal again. So we're going to give away some tickets to a future dinner. All you got to tell me is you're from California and where from.
That's awesome.
Right. So, but hey, you know what? It's great to sit and chat with you. You know, I've been getting to connect with a lot of people all over, and you know, I'm trying to make best with the time that I got, and it's great kind of hearing, you know, what other people are going through and what they're seeing. So,
yeah, man. Hey, reach out anytime. I look forward to meeting you in person and eating dinner and hanging out and smoking some fat joints together when all this pandemic bullshit is over. And you have a great 420, and thank you for having me on.
Yeah, man. Thank you. Happy 420. Light one up later.
I will. Thank you.
Cheers.
Be safe.
Ciao. All right. How about that? I'm pretty stoned. I'm not gonna lie. So I'm just gonna message. Where are we at? Our other chef here. Give me a second. Give me a second. Ready for you, chef. All right. So our next chef is coming from Newfoundland. I'm super excited. This is someone that I really look up to. Extremely talented chef. I think a great representation, really of maritime Newfoundland sort of cuisine and that, but really Canadian. So super excited that. Come on.
So Travis, maybe in this meantime, while we're waiting on this next chef, we can do some like Q&A.
Yeah.
Guests who are watching.
Yeah. Anyone got any questions? Anyone got? I know it's a bit late, so I gotta wait.
But in the interim, why don't you just go into a story just about maybe your last events, and while people break down some of the questions.
The last event I did, that was the dinner with Vin. That was crazy. That's where ambition gets the best of us. We served 100 people, 12 courses in 2 groups of 50 in 4.5 hours. Like you were there for a bit of it. Vin is just a fucking rock star in Edmonton. And so I knew that joining forces together would be popular, but man, we sold it out in like 10 days. and there were so many people there doing cannabis for the first time. It was a really cool group. We did 12 courses, which was too many. So it's funny how you can make some of the same mistakes that you've made in the past. You're like, I'm not gonna learn and grow from it. But then you're like, sushi, yeah, let's do it. So
we got some questions coming in right now, so I'm gonna let you just focus on those.
All right. How long does it break? At least a full day, if not a couple. Right? I'll usually start my grocery shop 3 days before, and I leave the freshest stuff till the end. But the day before is at least a 10-hour, 11-hour prep day, and I miss it. And I love the prep days, as long as I'm not behind. I love my prep. All right, the chef's responding to DM, so we're good. Any other questions?
We're just waiting for them to come in.
Yeah, and but after that, I was actually in Charlotte, North Carolina. I got a chance to go to the Chef to Chef conference, which is for country club executive chefs, and it's they had me to come talk about CBD and again how we're going to incorporate. Oh, sorry, give me 1 sec. Just the chef here. The chef went to Skype, so.
Oh.
Okay, our bad. We changed the platform up. We're learning as we go. Bobby throws a curveball here 5 minutes before game's ready to go. By the way, you can only wear one shoe. All right. I think he's queuing in. So, but yeah, it was again to go to Charlotte and give a presentation to chefs on CBD and food, and the response was really humbling. Everyone was super interested. I had a ton of invitations to come visit their country clubs and that, and yeah, that was all kind of put on hold. So, yeah. No questions, eh?
Cool.
All right.
There's no other questions that are coming in just yet.
Careful showing. All right. Just wait on it. Okay, so our maple syrup is at 1 hour and 15 minutes right now. Yeah, how about those bombs we gave away? You know what? I want to give away another prize. If you can tell me the name of the chef I did the plant-based pop-up on Valentine's Day with, you will win 2 tinctures. This deal is. Oh, that's a good question. That question's still open. Tell me the 2 tinctures. But how much cannabis do I use? Usually about an ounce of cannabis flower. And then I've got my tinctures, and the tinctures that I'll use to sort of adjust people's tolerance. So again, we make that bare minimum right across, and then we use the tincture just to sort of drop on top to add on. So yeah. Does anyone know the chef's name? She's a plant-based chef from Calgary. No, I started using cannabis as soon as I quit playing hockey, so at 16. And I got into cooking with cannabis. I just was going to do it as a one-time thing. The herbal chef came to Vancouver. We weren't even legalized yet. He was put on the front page of the Georgia Straight. And I just thought, hey, if people from other countries are going to come and do this, then a Canadian should. So it blew up the first one. We had 164 people over 4 days. CTV did a little story on it that went national, and I got really scared. I took down all the links because reporters were calling and everyone wanted to know. So yeah, it was crazy, and I wasn't going to be a cannabis chef. It just I started doing these little Airbnb pop-ups and just having more fun, and then I just realized this is actually what I've been looking to do. So Yeah. All right. So next up from Newfoundland is Chef Jeremy Charles. Chef,
How's it going?
good. How are you doing?
Good, good. Thanks for having me.
Yes. Sorry about the little change up there at the end. We found a one-click option that was easier to connect.
Yeah, I'm challenged with all that stuff, so sorry for a few questions there. I was a bit, I'm technically challenged with this. All good.
No worries. This is sort of new, and so far we've been having a lot of fun. Normally for me, this is my biggest day of the year where we're serving 100 people, and there's tons of work and prep going in, and I think what we've seen. Have you you're usually working a full. You're in your restaurant every night. Now all of a sudden you're home. Do you find yourself cooking more and refining that love that food just have?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I got 2 young kids, so definitely been spending a lot of time cooking for them and just for the family, and yeah, just going back to the basics and cooking a lot of traditional Newfoundland meals that just that feel comforting, and that kind of lasts for a day or two. You get a roast turkey, and the next day we're doing a turkey soup, and so on and so forth. So it's yeah, it's been a lot of lovely time spent with the kids and the family, and just really appreciating that time right now.
Yeah, I think it's really, we're nothing's going to change the situation, so it's important to make the best of it. And I've really been noticing there's this huge craze now for people actually cooking for themselves. They're at home and they're looking. Here are the chefs out there. They're just sharing content. We just can't help ourselves but give. We just keep on giving, and it's inspiring to see people starting to cook for themselves again at home and getting excited about it.
Yeah, no, I've really been enjoying it, I gotta say. And we've had a few groups that we do a little wine tasting, and I'll cook up a few snacks and send it on as well. And yeah, it's just in our blood to be hosts and to be sharing food, and it's just what we do. It just comes natural.
Yeah. So, where were you a couple months ago with, what you saw sort of 2020 being for you guys, and what are you at now with I mean, everyone's closed and shut down, and I know you're probably itching to get back in the kitchen, not just for yourself, but your crew and your team, right? So,
Yeah, no, this was a big year for us. It was our 10 years of Raymond's, so it was our 10-year anniversary, and had a lot of things planned, but obviously we're shifting gears and just kind of waiting for the dust to settle, so to speak. And at the tavern, Merchant Tavern, we're actually doing a small little takeout right now where we're doing 4 or 5 items. So we're doing a little bit of work in the kitchen, and we got a few of our employees back to work, which has been nice.
how important is it for our government to really support the culinary industry coming out of this? I mean, it's not just restaurants; it's event companies. It's food is incorporated in everything of our life, right? So,
Yeah, it's massive. I think now people realize how many people are affected in our industry. It's not just the restaurants, or it's the people behind the food. The farmers, the growers. It's a huge deal, and yeah, we really need to get that support from the government to get people back on their feet. And I mean, there's so many amazing restaurants across the country, and that's why people travel, and that's what really makes some of these cities magic. And but I really believe we're going to get back there, and just we just got to take a deep breath and come together, and we'll get there.
yeah, I do got to say I'm very proud of Canada right now. I am proud of our leadership. I think we've handled it well. If you look at especially where we're seeing some of the curves starting to be flattened, especially out here on the west coast where I am.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a long road, but I'm just encouraged by compassion from people. People making themselves just like yourself available to connect with people all over the country, and um, it leaves me with hope and optimism. I know that.
No, for sure. It feels great to be a Canadian right now, and coming together. The culinary community is large, but yet it is like a village. So many great friends across the country, just staying in touch and just doing great things wherever they can. So it's it is. It's great to be in the industry right now, so to speak. But it's great to be Canadian, and it's amazing what you can do when you come together. So
Yeah.
it's good stuff.
So I've been doing culinary cannabis and these cannabis dinners for 2 years now. I started on 420 in 2018, and I've been a really big proponent of, we have an opportunity right now as our country. We're the only country of chefs that legally have full access to this plant to work with it. Now, we can't serve it yet, but we're yet to see any culinary institute sort of step up and put a program out there to really look into the science of this and to create an industry standard for our terminology, for our techniques, for safety procedures.
Yeah.
Even though cannabis isn't something that you cook with in that, do you think it's important that us as a country supports this as an opportunity?
Oh, I think it's huge. It's a big void that's going to be filled, and we need to put down the groundwork and make sure systems are in place and lead by example.
Yeah, it's when I did the first one, my anticipation was young 20-year-old males. That's what would be coming out to the dinner. And coming up on my 4,000, yes, my average age is 38. It's 56% female. And I'm 18% first-time cannabis users. So we've really seen a demographic, we like to call them the canna curious, coming out. And what's really inspired me is that watching a table, it's strangers. It's 10 to 12 people at a table, either in twos or fours, but they're all together, and watching how I'll look at a table and go, well, they're going to need some help from the service to talking because no one has anything in common. And then that's the table that bonds and shares phone numbers with each other. And it was moments like that that really pulled me to sort of keep going after it. So, I'm a huge fan of yours, and I'm very much looking forward to the day that I can, travel out that way and come check your restaurant out. And
Thank you.
I'm a big fan of yours, and I really appreciate you coming out here. We wanted to use the culinary platform, or sorry, the cannabis platform on Cannabis Day to try and give back. So we've partnered with Second Harvest, or we're raising money for Second Harvest, and they're Canada's largest food rescue organization. So before food is thrown out, when it is still perfectly fine to be served and it's edible, they get it off to those who are most in need. So, we saw people stepping up 4 days ago and making those, donations when time's tough. So we really appreciate, people giving even when it's a tough time to do so.
Absolutely. It means a lot right now for sure.
So, Chef, I really appreciate your time, and I look forward to the day that things start to sort of look back to normal. And I wish the best for you and your family. Stay healthy, and thank you.
Thank you for having me, and good luck with everything, and keep us posted.
Will do. Cheers.
Okay.
Thanks,
Thanks
Chef.
so much. Cheers.
All right. All right. Try not to fangirl there, Okay, next up, we've got another musical act from Toronto. That's Aziz. Let's go to the music. I'm getting buzzed. Hold on. More time. Oh. Robert, music. There we go.
What's up, everybody? Happy 420. When I look at where I'm coming from, I know I'm blessed, and I close my eyes and smile. Sometimes I feel like the richest man in Babylon, and I've done my best, so everything's alright inside. Oh, every morning I smile, I stare at the sun. I know that it is a blessing. So when the evening comes, I lift up my eyes to the hills. I'm blessed, oh man. With my two hands in the air as far as I can. Oh, 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 oh. With my two hands in the air as far as I can. As far as I can. Sometimes I'm lost and far from home, but I'll find my way. I'll follow my heart, I know I'll be found someday. While I learn to love and live, what do you say? Let's have a good time until that day. Oh, every morning I smile, I stare at the sun. I know that it is a blessing. So when the evening comes, I lift up my eyes to the hills. I'm blessed, oh man. With my two hands in the air as far as I can. Oh, 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 oh. With my two hands in the air as far as I can. Oh, 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 oh. With my two hands in the air as far as I can. As far as I can. With my two hands in the air as far as I can. With my two hands in the air as far as I can. What's up, everybody? I'm ISV. This is my guy Slow Jams. We're in 2 different quarantine pods, so we're making the best of it. I love cannabis and I hate wasted food. So shout out to Second Harvest for putting this on. That first song was a song by Chronix. All the next ones are by me. I hope you enjoy. Hard to find water. You ever play against yourself in a little game called love? In theory seems easy, trust me, not easy enough. I met a girl half my size with an equivalent mind, but I won't fight for love, cause half of my heart don't vibe. Ooh, give me something to believe that you are all I need. Ooh, honey, don't trust me with your heart. I'm always running from the start. Single living, always a blessing, never complaints to have. FBGM was the way, but ooh girl, the way you sway makes me sick, how bad I want your lips. I blame my forefathers for why I just don't commit. Cursed to be insatiably thirsty for kitty, but never complete. Ooh, give me something to believe that you are all I need. Ooh, honey, Honey, don't trust me with your heart. I'm always running from the start. Oh, yeah. Running from the start. Whoa, oh, oh. Running from the start. So tell me straight if you wanna be my girl, so I could tell you no, I'm trying to live it up in this crazy world. I'm sorry, love, I wasn't trying to be rude. I just don't wanna hurt you. Too busy chasing bright lights to the California sunrise. Ooh, oh. Give me something to believe that you are all I need. Ooh, honey, don't trust me with your heart. Always running from the start. That one was called Running, available on all streaming platforms. So please check it out. This next one's called Stuck Here, also out. Stuck here, playing your fool. Oh, because I went and fell in love with you. I said I'm stuck here, waiting on you. Oh, because I went and fell in love with you. It was a starry night, starry eye, beyond the blue bonsai. That's where I caught your vibe. There were hella basic bitches around here. But you were rocking ripped jeans, a white tee, Adidas superstar sneakers. Your hair like a solar flare. I thought I might get burned if I continued to stare. So I revolved around your air until you broke through my atmosphere, babe. You say that you love me beyond the 7 fucking seas. I said, give me something to believe that you are all I need. Stuck here, playing your fool. All because I went and fell in love with you, babe. Oh, I said I'm stuck here, waiting on you. All because I went and fell in love with you, babe. Thank you, thank you. Before I got asked to do this gig, they mentioned, I should talk about my relationship to 420, as it was in the message. And weed's a huge part of my life. I used to be a real angry teen. Weed calmed me out. I was never on the path to creativity. Weed helped me get there. So, I mean, God bless, it's legal now. Anyways, this next one is we doing a snippet of Better Plan? I have a song that we're still working on, but I figured I'd show you a minute of it because it's kind of a vibe. So I hope you enjoy. Wavelengths could have been more tight. You kept me guessing if I even caught your eye. I wasn't sure if I was even your type. You was cold as your toes in my bed at night. I was on the move, trying to keep it cool. But your booty slapped so hard it took me back to school. Since I got a taste, I've been making haste. Down to do whatever just to get between them legs. I was looking for a way out of my mind. Pushing back on the darkness we felt inside. sun starts to rise. I was looking for my Neverland, but now I got a better plan. And now I got a better plan. And now I got a better plan. Oh no, babe, don't shut me out. Yeah, we gotten so far. I need you here, you're my shooting star. Quarantine pending. That track should be out by summer. So stay tuned. All right, I only got one song left. I want to go ahead and thank Shabazz Kara for putting this on. Travis for inviting me. Second Harvest. Guys, if you can donate, please do. But other than that, take care of yourselves, be kind to each other, and sanitize heavy. I'll see you soon. Oh, please follow me at ISV Music. AYAZB Music. All right, I'll see you guys. This last one's called Blind. Plum tree in my view, broken strings I tried to tune. I'm trapped in the fog of you. Loneliness takes its toll when you're staring at blank walls, 'cause your mind's in another place in the hills. But if I knew what you would do, I'd have never chosen a path where we were worlds apart. I can't see through any door that I choose, but now that I know that you're cruel, I would rather be blind than find my way to you. Ooh, now that I know that you're cruel, I would rather be blind. Ooh, now that I know that you're cruel, I would rather be blind. Deep scars we carved in the park. I was wrong about your perfect heart. So naive, I leaned too hard, going down in the dark. You dance with slithery lies, strangled till I nearly died. Last breath, easy words to find. I'd rather be blind. But if I knew what you would do, I'd have never chosen a path where we were worlds apart. I can't see through any door that I choose, but now that I know that you're cruel, I would rather be blind than find my way to you. Ooh, now that I know that you're cruel, I would rather be blind. Ooh, now that I know that you're cruel, I would rather be blind. Plum tree in my view, broken strings I tried to tune. I'm trapped in the fog of you. Thank you so much, everybody. Happy 420. It's my turn to blaze.
Woo, man! How how was that? Man, that was beautiful. Thank you so much, guys. Go check out his Instagram right there. Has the music, brother. That was fucking sick, man. Really, really appreciate that. Yeah, man. Super, super cool. Really appreciate that. This kind of makes 420 special, right? It's different. I don't get to sit and hang like this all the time. You did, Brian. I see you're a chef too. Boom. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. Congrats, buddy. In fact, a chef won. Let's light one up. Chef, if you got one, light it up. So, a couple of things I want to touch on. If you live in Alberta, Manitoba, or Ontario, and you got a fire and flower near you, you can go on their Fastlane app. You can order your cannabis and then go to the store and actually pick it up. It'll be there. You pay for it there. It's super fucking easy. Social distancing practices the best. So yes, fire and flower. So we've got a bunch of fire and flower swag we're going to give away. It's all part of our prizes coming up. We've been making some infused. Sorry, my blunt has a hole in it. Shabazz!
What's up, guys?
How's it going, man?
What's up? What's up? How you guys doing? I just wanted to jump in and say, wow, that was good. Ayaz, whoo,
Yes.
that was incredible. Jody earlier was insane too, and really appreciate everyone commenting and keeping the engagement alive. Travis,
Yeah.
of course, man, wanted to give you a quick little break while you smoke that blunt. But again, guys, thanks so much, and thanks to our musicians and everyone who's contributing. This is obviously the first of many, but this is how real community comes together, and how lucky are we that we get to celebrate a beautiful plant today.
Do you know where we're at with the fundraiser?
I think we're just approaching $1,000. So, when Travis and I and Bobby set out to do this, we really had, we had a stretch goal of about 5K, and we were just going to be happy to raise, $1. So let's try and get past that $1,000 mark if possible, and let's actually contribute some meaningful dollars to a good cause. Because next year we're going to come back live, bigger, better, and with a bigger bang. So let's show this industry in the greater world what the cannabis community is made of.
Absolutely. I'm just really impressed with everyone right now. The engagement from people, just the guests coming on to make time, just to chat with us. I'm just, to me, 420 right now, it's feeling special. I don't know about you, but I think this is good. And man, we're coming up on $1,000. Are you kidding me? Like, you guys are amazing.
Yeah,
amazing. So, you know what I'm making here? Making some poutine. And I've got about 100 milligrams of cannabis butter in this gravy here. And what I did last night, he's gone. I was actually talking to him, but that's fine. I'll talk to you guys instead. So yeah, last night I made this beautiful fucking stock. My dad made this ham and lentil soup. So he had the big ham bone. So I roasted that for a bit with some bone marrow bones, made a little veg stock, and just let it sit and simmer. And that built all the flavor, which just makes this gravy. The fries, I cut them last night, deep fried them, froze them. Good fries, you want to freeze them before you fry a second time. It'll give it the crispiness. So I'm going to make some poutine right now, and then I'm going to make some hot wings. Okay, we're going to fry some wings. I got some hot sauce that I have infused. I took one of the nectar extracts. Where is that? Oh. I took their Island Pink strain and I infused it into an oil, which I've now added into my hot sauce, which is kind of like a peri-peri. And then we're also going to do some chicken sandwiches. We're going to make a maple sriracha mayo to go on it. I tell you what, it's fucking bomb. It's fucking bomb. So, Shabazz, why don't you come back and join me for a bit? Or you know what? Let's do some more questions. Let's do some more questions because we've got some time before we connect with our next guest. We got a full 12 minutes. So Q&A. Or should I give away a prize? Okay. Let's give away a prize. We're going to give away the Nomad Cook Dinner for Two. I'll tell you who that is. Montiexo. So on Instagram, Montiexo. You are the winner of the Nomad Cook Dinner for Two. So the next time I roll through your town, when those days come back, I'm going to come by and cook dinner for you and whoever you want. You choose a friend. Private dinner. So we'll post it up on your Instagram. I know I said you had to be watching now, but a lot of people entered. So, but we're going to give away some more prizes. Let's give away another 2 tinctures. No one answered that question yet. No one answered the question. Does anyone know the chef that I worked with on Valentine's Day? 2 tinctures. Okay, so I'm just gonna plate my poutine right now. All right, we got our fresh cut fries, our cheese curds. There's nothing you can't do to do this. And if you take the extra little bit of time. Now, with my gravy, I added 100 milligrams of cannabis. Now there, I would say it's probably I've lost at least 55% of that THC over the recooking process. So per serving, we're only going to see about 3 or 4 milligrams per person, unless you're just putting a whole boatload of gravy. All right. I'm not actually a poutine fan, but I'm really hungry right now. Probably because they smoked 3 blunts, but this is an infused poutine. All right. Yeah, it's funny because for the last 4 years I've constantly been traveling around and working. And one thing I really missed was being able to stay put and have routine. And boom, I got it. And I'm making the most of it. But yeah, I miss traveling, I miss connecting with people. Oh, look at that. My computer's about to die. That would be a bit of a fail, hey? All right. So our next guest coming up in about 10 minutes. I had the chance to meet her. I did my first event in San Francisco in March of 2019, and she was at the event. So her name is Jamie Evans. She is an author and really, I think, a CBD enthusiast, a CBD expert to a degree. I'm really sort of incorporated in our everyday lives and that. So she's been extremely busy. Her second book is actually coming out on May 1st. We're going to get a chance to talk a little bit about that. But, to me, San Francisco and the whole Bay Area itself has become an important place for me. I've been there now like 7 times in the last calendar year. My girlfriend lives there now, and I was really looking forward to spending time there and exploring the food scene. I got to go to this Yannick from Potuli took me to this Cambodian restaurant in Oakland, and it was fucking amazing. And it turns out the chef there, I can't remember her name, but was listed as one of the top influential food people in the world because she was really bringing back a cuisine that was almost lost due to genocide with the the Courage. So yeah, that just getting to experience the food scene down in the Bay Area, it was inspiring to be around. So I miss that, and I'm itching for the border to open back up safely, obviously, but very much so looking forward to getting back and getting down to California. And I think Californians and anywhere where cannabis is sort of legal in the state, they're interested to see what is happening up in Canada. I think we have a chance to really be a leader on the forefront. So yeah. Bobby, what are you up to right now? Why don't you jump in with me for a sec? He's probably not even. Oh, there he is.
Oh, probably what? Not even there.
He's not even there.
Yeah, I don't know if you saw, but there was a couple questions that people were asking. I don't think
they're not popping up for me. Otherwise, I would have. Yeah.
Okay, so Dan Scott asked, "What's the best way to infuse edibles?"
I think. I mean, it depends what your sort of goal is. If you're trying to get as high as possible, or if you're trying to get the flavor through, I think the safest and easiest way is to use tinctures. Isolates where you can precisely dose each cookie, each brownie. You put exactly what you want on each. That's sort of like the trainer beginner way to get going. And then there is some good material out there if you can find it. The Bon Appetit cookbook was great. Reference point for sort of teaching the basics and sort of understanding the plant. But the tinctures, and we sell tinctures. So.
Awesome.
So why don't you talk a little bit about
that? I have a question for you, Travis. Yep. Want to talk a little about Edmonton?
Yeah, ask your question.
So my question was a little bit, if you can give people context, how did you get featured on the Beastie Boys story? Or they're launching a documentary and you got featured for 420 on their page. Can you talk to us a little bit about how and what? How that unfold?
Like, what the fuck, right? No, Matt Gray from Herb called me up. He actually sent me a text and he said, "Are you interested in doing a collaboration with the Beastie Boys?" And I was like, that would be a hard yes. And given who Matt is, I like, there may be something behind this. I didn't think, like, he literally was like, okay, I'm going to set the call up with their manager tomorrow. Their documentary's coming out. Chef Roy Troy made some recipes for their biography, the book. It's in the middle. They've never recorded anyone cooking them, and they'd like you to do it. And so I got on the phone with them, and they're like, yeah, and like, we'll do it on 420. It'd be really cool to incorporate cannabis, and we'll put it on our pages. I was like, okay. And normally you and I work together, and you do the filming, I do the cooking, you edit it, it comes out, wow. But we can't do that. So I had to go. So luckily I've got my phone and my tablet.
Yep.
And I literally got on the kitchen counter and taped my phone on the ceiling to get that bird's eye view. And my dad's wife comes in the kitchen. She's like, "Are you doing a TikTok?" And I'm like, "No."
Are you doing a TikTok?
Right. So yeah, it was hard. And then the second problem was I couldn't get any of the files transferred to you because I'm in the middle of nowhere. So
yeah,
I literally had to come all the way over here. I'm actually renting an Airbnb where I can get reception. So the Airbnb host is going to come join us for 420, and we're going to talk about this beautiful oceanfront unit. But yeah, so that's why we rented it and came over here. But I sent it to you. You worked till late last night.
Wee hours in the morning.
And you were supposed to send it to me. I didn't tell you this, but I kept waking up every hour and checking my phone, like 1 a.m., 2 a.m., 3 a.m. And so, I know, and I couldn't. I had a horrible sleep last night.
My apologies. So I went to bed. I went to bed like at 3 o'clock my time. Sent it, but then it didn't finish transferring for whatever reason, and so you never got it. So My apologies. And you know what, too?
How late you were working, and then it came through and sent it off, and she texted me and she's like, "The boys approved," and I was like, "Yes."
Oh, so, okay. So they directly approved it.
Yes.
Oh,
Yep.
wow.
Yeah.
Okay, that's the real deal.
Yeah.
Like,
hey, that fucking text is, that's like one of those. If I can frame it, but they approve. Okay, cool. Cool. It'd be really cool if it got back to Chef Roy Choi, but it just a cool opportunity. And kudos to you. You can take fucking cell phone camera images, tablet images, and you cut it all together, and it was dope, man. So
no, appreciate it. I'm trying to bring up a little snippet if there's time, because I don't know if we're still waiting on the next guest.
We are. Why not? Can you play it?
We're gonna see if I can quickly freestyle this.
You can do it. Da, da, da. All right. Come on, Bobby. You can do it.
Yeah,
You can do it, Bobby.
It is not actually.
No,
it's not. Technology is sometimes against us, so it's not actually queuing or playing properly. But anyways, everyone should just go check out your Instagram. Your Instagram, they have it. I mean, check out the Beastie Boys stories, Instagram, Facebook. It's Twitter. It's everywhere.
It's everywhere. Crazy. It's humbling. Really cool opportunities keep coming, and you and I kind of talked about it. The whole way through this of events were canceled. Hey, he's on a live interview. It's good. Oh, he had to hear you.
You hear the background. Okay, so I think your next guest is here now.
All right, let's head over to San Francisco, where you put flowers in. I can't sing.
Hi, happy 420.
Happy 420. You look great.
Oh, thank you. I actually just got off a live broadcast with Wine Enthusiast magazine. So I was talking about wine and weed and celebrating 420. So I'm
busy
happy
day.
to be here next.
It's a busy day for yourself, hey?
Yeah, and for you. This is such an amazing program. So thank you so much for having me on today's show.
No, we really appreciate it. I know I've been bugging you, getting you to come and stuff. I mean, I think it worked out perfect because I think having you here today just means so much more. We were coming up on $1,000 raised. Almost.
Oh, good! Congratulations.
Thank you. I think more than anything, as someone who's constantly on the go with things to do,
yeah,
I wanted to do something. And,
yeah, exactly.
And to partner up with Shabazz and Robert and kind of have this concept where we're all of us working together. For one, it was a lot of fun. We did this in 10 days, kind of put it together. And
oh, wow.
Right, we had there was no trial run, so we're learning as we go here. And I'm realizing what 4 straight hours of being on camera means with having to have stuff to talk about too, right?
Yeah. Well, you have different guests coming on, so I feel like you're very good at talking about all the things that you love. So this should be easy for you.
I'm having fun with it. I'm enjoying it, and I'm just appreciative that we are able to sort of connect with everyone right now. So big year for you, big time. I don't know where you were at January thinking what 2020 was gonna be like and where you're now, but maybe tell the people about your book that's coming out and just everything going on in your life.
Absolutely. So hi, everyone. My name is Jamie Evans. I'm the founder of The Herb Psalm and author of The Ultimate Guide to CBD, which actually launches tomorrow. So very exciting. But I have been working in the cannabis industry since 2017. But before that, I come from a long history of working in the wine industry. So coming from wine, I just really wanted to get involved in the gourmet side of cannabis. So I've been really involved with the culinary side, so doing different pop-up events. I host dinners, and this book was just something that was really, really exciting for me to work on. And just learning about CBD too, there's just so much information that's out there. So it just was really important to me to tell like the true story of CBD, but also to include the voices of many different CBD experts in every field. And so there's like a chapter on cooking with CBD and cannabis. I'm sure you know like some of the chefs that are in the book. There's like a beverage chapter, self-care chapter. There's like a CBD and yoga section. So there really is something for everybody. So it just has been a really fun journey so far. But I think like at the beginning of 2020, I was anticipating going on my book tour, which was supposed to be this month. But of course, COVID-19 has just really changed our reality. So, I've been doing a lot of online stuff. I know you have as well. So it's just really fun to collaborate with you today and just talk about some of the things that we love.
Yeah, no, I wish that people could really see what your events are like, because I know when Chef Michael and I, did our collaboration, you were there. And then when I came back to do my second one and you guys were doing an event the night before and I was asleep, I rented the Airbnb upstairs. So I roll in with
that
my
was so fun at Naked Kitchen. So for everyone out there, this is an awesome event space in San Francisco. It's at this like funky Victorian house. It's purple. First of all, it's a purple house, and it's in the Mission District of San Francisco. So it just has like a lot of like personality. And so the owner of Naked Kitchen hosts cannabis events there, especially dining events. So I've done events there. Nomad Cook has done events there, and it's just really kind of like the place to go for cannabis dinners.
It's one of my favorite places to go in, let alone that the owners are just absolutely just the most gracious, great host to have you in there. But, I really think, California is really kind of, with Colorado really leading the way in the culinary aspect. And I actually think if you were ever to come up into Canada and do some of your events, you would really inspire a lot of other, there are so many powerful females working in this industry. And I do really love how the support network allows everyone just really to flourish. So I always saw and looked at you as like, oh, if you came up here, I think you would really, really have an impact. So I love, the books that you're putting out. I know I'm buying mine tomorrow. I thought it was made for
I appreciate that.
Before this COVID kind of all started, I was actually in San Francisco. I was working on my cookbook. Actually,
you have a cookbook coming out too. That's great.
Yes, and I had taken the whole month of March off. Got to spend all that time with my girlfriend, and just before I'd gone there, I was in Charlotte, North Carolina at the Chef to Chef conference, and I did a presentation on CBD in food and why their members are going to want it. That was the question: why will our members want CBD in their food? So I made a soup, a turmeric, ginger, and carrot soup, and then I made an infused CBD infused mustard with the Paco Gem.
Oh, that sounds delicious.
And what I said is, your members are out there golfing, they're active, they're playing tennis, and CBD in food after that is going to make them feel better. And now we can't make these medical claims with CBD, so let's use superfoods. Let's use our omega fat 3s that are healthy for your body.
Yeah,
are going to help rejuvenate. So we can make those claims. And by the way, CBD is here as well. So
I love that you said it's like a superfood, because it really is. I mean, I consider it a daily vitamin. So I integrate CBD into my morning smoothie every day. And like the most important thing to think about when you're using CBD is you really have to stick to that daily regimen, because like if you just take 5 milligrams at first, like for one day, like you might not feel that right away because CBD is very subtle. It's not like THC. So you're not going to get high at all. But over time, if you stick to that daily regimen, CBD has this like 24-hour half-life. So it eventually kind of adds up into your body to deliver those effects, the relaxing effects, the anti-inflammatory effects, which are probably some of its greatest, like two of the greatest things that it can help with, especially with like dealing with anxiety, or if you're an athlete, like topicals are a great thing as well. But yeah, I do consider CBD a superfood, absolutely. And I do think there's just so many cool ways to integrate it into food.
Absolutely. And when we start to look, I've started working with a company out of Colorado called Lab Effects. And
I've heard of them.
Yeah. So Scott Holden, who also CBD Global, they're part of, but they sent me out this amazing care package of terpenes.
Yeah.
Cannabis derived, just the straight natural terpene itself,
right.
and some nice blends in that. And what we can do with the CBD is really get that entourage effect happening where we can pinpoint these therapeutic terpenes. And this is what I think the culinary world, and we were chatting earlier, we had the 3 chefs we have on are some of the biggest chefs in Canada. They have nothing to do with cannabis. They just want to support this. But it was great to kind of talk with them. And, THC, they don't really see coming into restaurants, maybe certain places, but they do say what they want to know about are CBD and
CBD,
terpene,
yeah.
right? And those are the 2 things that I think are really going to champion the culinary world and what's going to really draw chefs in to want to dissect your 2 books back to back. So
yeah, and I think like CBD is very approachable too, because like I said before, it's not going to get you high. So I think if it ever comes into like a restaurant setting, it's just much more approachable for many people rather than having that full THC infused meal. I personally love THC infused meals. I think there's nothing quite like it. Not only does cannabis just add these amazing aromas and flavors to a meal, but I think like the euphoria that it brings is just super fun. It's just like nothing else, honestly. And I go to dinners that aren't like cannabis infused now, and I'm like, wait, like I miss like the infusion.
So do you want to know something that'll blow your mind? So I'm coming up on my 4,000th guest since I started this on 420 2 years ago.
Oh my God! Wow.
I have never been to a cannabis dinner.
What? You've never been to one? Oh
no.
My gosh.
I'm so work.
Yeah, you're busy.
And then, I always want to be in the kitchen. So, like that time I wanted Chef Michael, I want to come and do it. I want to see how you do your dinners and that. And
right. That was a fun collaboration. So for all the viewers out there, Nomad Cook and another brilliant chef, his name's Michael Magdalene's of Opulent Chef. They did this like duo chef experience where Michael would cook something and then Travis would cook something and they'd go back and forth. And it just was such a cool foodie experience and just really bringing like each of your takes on the infused dining experience. So I really enjoy dinners like that. So thank you for having me. I mean, how long? I guess that was that 2018?
No, it was 2019. March.
Was last year. Okay.
Do you know how it all came together? Was January of 2019. I'm friends with a chef in Brooklyn whose other chef friend was doing a James Beard presentation.
Okay.
She said, "Do you want to just come help?" And I was like, "Fuck yes!" So I went out to New York, and I just did whatever they needed. But I got to work in the James Beard house, and it was
amazing.
Surreal experience. And so the next day, I was sitting in a restaurant, and I'm like, I want to do a dinner in San Francisco. And I got on Instagram and I started looking for cannabis chefs from Instagram. And I found Michael and I messaged him and I said, I'm Travis. I've been doing cannabis dinners. I want to come to San Francisco. And he responded. And it just over, was 6 weeks, we came up with a menu. He took a lot of the front end work of, putting people in seats.
He was doing a lot of events at Naked Kitchen during that time.
Yeah, and we're friends. I keep in contact. the one thing I really want to see is all the cannabis chefs start connecting with each other, right? If we can create a standard that we operate at with our safety procedures, with our terminology, with our techniques, it's only going to further the movement as something that everyone else has to take serious. So
yeah, I mean, I'm so happy you said that because I'm also a part of a group called Crop to Kitchen. And so we're a group based in San Francisco and Los Angeles that's really bringing, all these cannabis chefs together so we can hopefully legalize cannabis cuisine out here in California, because right now it's not considered legal at this point. But we also want to create these standards for safe and responsible consumption. And hopefully we can roll out something across, the United States, up in Canada, where we can have these restaurant experiences. So I think, for everyone out there, if you want to learn more about Crop to Kitchen, it's just croptokitchen.com. There's some amazing chef involved. Like, you should definitely get involved for sure. So
yeah,
I think
I'm looking to, I need to be able to legally work in the States. I've got some promising opportunities down there. So obviously everything has been put on a halt, but we're going to be launching the Nomad Cook product line up in Canada this year, even earlier than anticipated, because we're accelerating that now. So
wait, product line? I haven't heard of this. This is awesome.
Yeah, that was always the intention with Nomad Cook, was supplying ingredients for chefs, whether amateur or professional. So the biggest struggle we have right now is there's a 10 milligram per item maximum, and you can only buy 10 of them at a time.
Oh yeah, that's right.
So we can't sell a liter or quart of olive oil with only 10 milligrams in it. There's no point. So we've had to look at what we can get out, and terpenes is really the starting point for us.
Very cool.
So I don't anticipate any more 50-person dinners this year, unfortunately. I think realistically, I am looking in June and July doing small dinners, 8 people, 2 tables of 4. Max 10 people. That's it. Like with me and the other person and 8. So I hope it is. And it's just, that just got to feed me. Feed me as my soul, because I need to cook for people.
Yeah, of course. I mean, I think like the intimate dinners though is also really cool. I actually went to there's a chef in San Francisco. Her name's Big Bad Wolf. So I went to one of her dinners and there was only 4 of us there, but she was, it was like in her home. She cooked for us. It just was one of the most intimate experiences I've ever had with a chef. So it just was really cool. So I'm totally into that small intimate dinner thing. Yeah,
that's going to happen. And we're going to have a couple of those in San Francisco, because I fully intend to be in the Bay Area this winter. We'll see how things work out. But how can people get your book?
Absolutely. So my book, The Ultimate Guide to CBD, this is releasing tomorrow, as we mentioned earlier, but you can buy this on Amazon, Barnes & Noble. Follow me on Instagram. It's at The Herb Somm. That's SOMM. And let me know if you have questions about the book, if you have questions about culinary cannabis or wine and weed. Like, I'm your girl. So definitely, keep me in mind.
Well, I definitely look forward to seeing you again, and we've got to get a collaboration.
We do.
Both down there and up here. I'm telling you, you'll be a big hit up here.
I would love to come up there, absolutely. So, thanks for always thinking of me too for these opportunities.
Yeah, no, absolutely. You have a great 420. I'm sure you've got some more interviews lined up right after this. But,
I'm doing a big 420 wine and weed toast with some infused wines tonight at 6 p.m. So that should be pretty fun. So that's my next thing.
Awesome. Great. Well, Jamie, thanks so much again for coming on. Happy 420.
Thank you. Happy 420.
All right. Bye. All right. How about that? That was great. My hair. Man. All right, next up, we're going to connect with our last chef, Chef Matthew Stowe, out here on the West Coast, fellow West Coast native. Chef. Oh, I can't hear you. No volume. Maybe it's on our end. Bobby?
No, I think it's your phone might be muted. Or if you want, you can rejoin the stream, and that might fix it. But I can't hear him either. But it's showing that it should be working. So. So he's going to rejoin the stream, and I'll just add him back on.
All right. No worries. I'm ordering that book. It's I think it's just what a great way to sort of like right now, you have all the time to really digest a book like that, to really kind of take it in and, start to make some of the things yourself, take in some of the recommendations. Who won the Levo? We haven't given the Levo away yet. Chef? No volume.
Sorry, Chef, do you want to try one more thing? Just unplug your microphone and headphones and see if that will kick in to work. Like unplug it from your phone and see if that will work. No, I still can't hear him. Technology, one of the difficulties of doing live streams is how do you have to work with the technology sometimes.
We are going to draw the Levo. Oh, that's right. I was supposed to give it away with Jamie. Okay. While we're waiting for Chef, let's give away the Levo. I'm sorry. Someone smoked 3 blunts already. All right. Our Levo prize winner is Marissa Rose 90. Marissa Rose 90. You've won a Levo 2 machine. Woo! Well, DM us your information, and Levo's gonna mail it right from the Levo place. So, Maria Rose 90. So, but hey, if you want to buy a Levo machine, hit me up. I've actually got a promo code. I think it's just Nomad Cook. You'll save yourself 10%. So, highly recommend going out and buying one. So. In the meantime, we're waiting for Chef to come back on. And yeah, as I was kind of saying with Jamie, I think, one of the things right now with taking cannabis out from the underground and bringing it into the mainstream is really providing these real sort of well-set atmospheres and just sort of the experience that's being put out there. As great as, bongs and everything are, bongs and brownies and the stoner culture image, it's not going to help when we want to transition this into the mainstream and really try and convert the conservative base that may not approve of cannabis. And so people like Jamie are really sort of help pushing forward that, hey, there is actually, like I said, it's a superfood. It fits right in there with that. So all right. Hello?
Hey, how you doing?
There we go.
Oh, you got it. I had to recopy a link, and I'm a chef. I'm not an IT guy, man. Sorry.
Sorry about that. Neither am I, and Bobby changes it up on us at 10 minutes beforehand, so I'm quickly trying to message it out to you guys. So
no problem.
But thanks for making some time. Really
thanks for having me.
Appreciate you coming on. We've had a chance to kind of touch base with chefs right across the country today and just get an understanding of, the current scenario for the culinary industry, and maybe just talk a little bit kind of what you guys, I've seen some great initiatives come out of Joey's with your do-it-yourself, make it at home kits and that, it's kind of a necessity to transition there, but maybe talk a little bit about the impact that you guys are facing.
Yeah, I mean, I think the impact has been well documented. It's had a massive impact. I never forget, about 22 years ago now, I started cooking, and when I told my father I wanted to become a chef, he said, he's like, "That's, it's a good choice. People always need to eat. You always have a job." And now, looking back on that, I mean, up over the last 22 years that I've been in the industry, I mean, chefs, we can go work anywhere we want. And it's easy to find work. It's been a flourishing, industry. Sure, it's tough. margins are tight. But as far as, from a sheer, running a food operations standpoint, it's been, easy. But this has really tested a lot of, everyone's will, I think, as far as, where we're at. And it's heartbreaking to see, especially with social media now, it's such a small community. You see what, chefs and restaurateurs are going through right now, and you just shake your head. It's crazy.
You are really seeing the community bond together. And one thing I've sort of said is, as the chefs, we can't help but just give to people. And you see chefs just giving so much content and just showing, and it's really inspiring a lot of people. I'm seeing this rebirth of people, doing it themselves at home. And, we still want them to come back to the restaurant. I think for them to, I think a lot of people didn't cook in the first place.
Exactly. I think
they're kind of replicating. So
I think definitely out of all this, one positive will be that we definitely will produce a lot more, better home cooks. People are cooking a lot more at home. They appreciate food. We'll probably also, from, looking at Instagram, probably produce a lot more alcoholics out of this too. It seems like a lot of people are drinking too, but it's definitely, it's fun to be able to cook. It passes the time. It's nice if you have kids to get them involved and cook at home. It's our meal kits at Joey are a perfect example of that, right? We've had lots of success with that. It's lots of fun for the family, and you can learn something at the same time.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's the really key thing. If people are with their families and together, it's about making it a group activity, right?
Exactly. Yeah. Some of those things that maybe when you had the hustle and bustle of everyday life, and you look at cooking and it's like, I don't have time for that. A lot of people nowadays, they do have time for that.
Yeah.
You may used to laugh at, a gnocchi recipe that might take an hour of baking, and then you've got to make them, and that's another hour, and then you got to, cook them off, and it could be a 2-3 hour production. Whereas now people are looking for those type of things to fill time and have some fun.
Yeah, absolutely. We now have seen legalization of cannabis. We're coming up on a year and a half. I've been doing these cannabis events now for 2 years, coming up on about 4,000 guests. And I've really gone coast to coast and got a really great feeling of this country. Even though cannabis has nothing to do with, your kitchen or your brand, with the Joey's brand, do you think it's important that Canada gets behind, the Canadian culinary institutions get behind this as a viable option for chefs and that? My biggest worry is that when America finally fully moves in this direction, we will kind of lost of our opportunity to really kind of make this a Canadian thing. So do you think it's important that our culinary institutions get behind and offer education on using cannabis in the kitchen?
Yeah, I mean, I think that it's definitely it's here. It's a trend now. It's probably here to stay, and I think that it's important for any culinary school to always be updating the curriculum. I went to Culinary Institute of America in 2000, and we were making it was a great school, amazing school, with a very broad curriculum at the time, and they've done a great job of being able to adapt with the times. And even there, they focus a little less on the cooking side and more on the business side, because a lot of graduates that graduate from there aren't necessarily opening their own small fine dining restaurants anymore. So I think that it's important for any, like I said, institution to stay with the times, and you dedicate a certain amount of time to it. And I remember back in school, we spent 6 weeks on wine, but we spent 2 days making like old school charcuterie, because to them the wine was maybe a little bit more of a focus. So I think it's just building it in and allowing a certain amount of time for it, but definitely address it for sure, because it's out there, right? It's like the wine program at CIA. I mean, being Canadian, I would never forget, we were like, okay, tomorrow we're going to talk about Canadian wines, and I was all excited and pumped up, and then we spent 45 minutes on ice wine and then moved on to a different region, and that was Canada in their eyes. So I think that to that point, I think you can always build stuff in, and it's nice for students to really know what's going on, and especially currently and present.
Yeah, I'm one of the only ones that's kind of traveling at the rate that I have been in the last 2 years. I've been really enjoying it. I've been able to start going down into the States, and what I've noticed, there's cannabis chefs in every city. They're working, they've got their scene, and I've been trying to, just connect us all. Let's start
Yeah, I mean, when you look at
right?
our industry, it's a small industry of chefs, and then within that industry, there's lots of different subcultures. There's vegan chefs out there. There's cannabis chefs. There's guys and girls that love to cook lots of meat and richer dishes. I mean, everyone kind of gravitates towards their own niche within this large industry, and the industry is massive and it's growing so much. I mean, I remember even 22 years ago, Food Network could like just come on the scene then, and before that, it was like if you wanted to watch cooking videos, you were watching. I remember watching KCTS, public broadcasting on Sundays between like 1 and 3, and it'd have Julia Child and Jacques Pepin and a handful of chefs, and that was it. You didn't have anything else. You couldn't go and learn, on YouTube and all that stuff. So I think that the world is evolving. Our industry is evolving really fast, and cooking with cannabis is just another example of that.
Yeah. Last question for you. You've worked a 12-hour day. You're hungry. It's 1 a.m. What do you go for? What do you eat?
Oh, anything quick, man. I remember. I mean, New York. When I would live there, I survived on like pizza. But cooking at home, I think I would say a go-to for me is pasta. I always have some bolognese sauces in the freezer, and if I can cook something up, a cacio e pepe, whatever, anything quick that is like mindless. Because after a 12-hour day of cooking, you don't feel like cooking a lot for yourself. And I think it's a question that people always ask, right? It's this big misconception in the industry that chefs go home and eat like how they cook, and it's pretty much the exact opposite of that.
Absolutely. This is the first time in 5 years I've cooked for myself every night for 5 weeks straight. By doing this little cooking show, I'm constantly having to, and I don't enjoy cooking for myself. I love cooking for others. I love the process of creating that, but I am enjoying cooking, butter chicken and doing a lasagna and just, keeping myself busy every night. And, I'm itching to get back out there. And
I know. We actually, funny enough, we have a butter chicken kit as one of our kits at Joey, and it's going really well. People definitely gravitate to ethnic food. And I think that, at home, it can be hard to have a pantry with everything, to make it. So in a age right now where people aren't wanting to go to the grocery store as much, I think, certain things like that, kits and things are awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Chef, I really appreciate you coming on. I know we've just passed the $1,000 mark on what we're raising for second harvest.
Good for you.
So, again, we wanted to use this platform and try and give back because cannabis is really about sharing in community. So thank you very much. You and your family and everyone, please stay healthy. And, I look forward to coming back to Joey's when you guys open.
Will do. Thanks a lot. Thanks for having me on.
Thanks, Chef. All right. I just got my oil smoking away over here. All right. Well, that was awesome. To connect with 3 chefs of their caliber in about 2 hours and kind of get a good chat with them. It was really, really cool on my end. So our infuser actually just finished. The maple syrup is done. So we're going to pour that out. But we're going to go back. We put this together in 10 days. We only were able to book 2 musical acts. So we're going to put Jody B on one more time because she's a badass. So everyone, if you missed it, you get to see it again. Ladies and gentlemen, from Kelowna, BC, Miss Jody B.
Hey everybody, my name is Jody B. Thanks for having me. I just met Travis here in Kelowna for a Mother's Day brunch. We actually have been working together for quite a while now. I usually perform at his dinners. So thanks for having me, the Nomad Cook. And today we're raising money for Second Harvest. So happy 420, everyone.
It's like people only do things because they get paid. And that's just really sad.
Can't you see? Can't you see? So blinded by love.
It's like people only do things because they get paid. And that's just really sad.
Yeah, cowardly, defenseless, docile, relentless, trapped with the past, insecurity, and rage. Clip my feathers like a bird in a cage. Yeah, let out the rage, let it out, get it out, forgive it and forget it. Repetitive cycle subsides to regret. Shit, rich defense, immense guilt to believe. Like punch from the inside, being so naive, it's eaten away from so deep within. These moths feasting. Twisted in, confident and slick, you hiss lies to your teeth. I don't stand a chance in this dance, you got me beat. Maybe I'm twisted and maybe it's me. Either way, this just wasn't meant to be, but can you blame me? With our history, the real opportunities that seize the flee. So blinded by love, so blinded by love, by love. Yeah, now washed away, hitting shores by the break line. Better trust him one day the moon pulls me back in time, and I use this crutch as Mary Jane for when shit hits the fan, for when shit gets insane. Vibing, chilling, stress, master frail, taking account to sit back, bust, spark, back and inhale. My definition of hope, rendition is this: to be loved, to feel loved, to breathe, feel and kiss. Yes, express the thoughts in your mind, introduce a flow to break down and unwind. Help yourself through the connections of a verse, work through the thoughts of what arose first. You see what I did here? I expressed and released. Now left content, I'm refreshed from the beast. So blinded by love, by love. So blinded by love, by love. Can't you see? Can't you see? Can't you see? So blinded by love, yeah, blinded by love. All right, so that was an original of mine. Just gonna roll right into it. great up in here in the nest when everyone around you tells you what's best. I gotta trust my gut, yeah, I gotta cut my ties, leap into the unknown and learn to fly. Determination flickers from the tip of my tongue, impatience overcomes a wise young one. Speak with intentions, impress my surroundings, fixed on the earth. Gotta keep my ground, and past experience got you filled with the hate, full of negativity. You can't trust fate. Gotta utilize this comment, but the lyrics spilling out of my brain like vomit. This is my war cry. This is my war cry. This is my war cry. Breaking down from the bottom of the sea. My war cry. And my dreams keep running through my brain, constantly from going insane, from joining the rest of the pact. Yeah, they lost their dreams on the hard fact that no one's gonna carry you there. Fact that no one wants to play fair. Fact that the competition is there. Yeah, fact that the failure is a real scare. Yeah, based on the facts, on a feeling in the world. Based on the facts, you ain't living in a girl. Based on the facts, on a feeling in the world. Yeah, based on the facts. My war cry. Yeah, my war cry. This is my war cry. Breaking down from the bottom of the sea. My war cry. Light 'em up, y'all. 420. It's been a long ride. It's been a nice night with you. For now, with you. For now, I drag this cat out, worry and pain across my eyes. As I look deep into can't get enough out of you. I don't know why. It's been a long ride. It's been a nice night with you for now. With you for now. I'm working myself to the bone, justifying your actions, and I don't know what went wrong, but I'm addicted to your passion, so don't tell me, yeah, don't tell me, so don't tell me that I want. It's been a long ride. It's been a nice night with you for now. With you for now. Thank you guys so much. Again, I'm Jody B. Thanks for the Nomad Kick, and yeah, raising money for Second Harvest. Happy 420, y'all.
We're back. Jody B. How about that? How about that? Well, I'm just smoking this fucking Airbnb out, and not by the cannabis, by the oil to fucking deep fry these wings that I'm making. But I made like my own little habanero peri peri sauce for these wings. They're hot as fuck. There's a lot of cannabis in it. And we're going to welcome a surprise guest, the owner of this Airbnb. Hello. Hi. Look who it is. Lisa.
Hello.
The owner of the house.
6 feet away, right?
6 feet away. Yeah.
This is close.
Yes. All right. Yeah, we're going to what do we got left? We got Cobb coming up next at 4:15, and we're going to wrap it up. We'd love to hear some sort of feedback from you guys on how you thought this was going. Sorry, it's a little smoky in here.
That's okay.
It's the wings. So, Lisa, why don't you tell everyone about your Airbnb on the beautiful ocean front there? I'll get 6 feet away.
Yeah, thanks. So yeah, we're in Campbell River in the salmon capital of the world, or once was. Beautiful location in Wold Point on the ocean here. Beautiful view. There's 2 different suites I have. I'll get Travis to put the link in the bio there. There's the loft house that we're in right now. It sleeps 8 people. It's quite large. Beautiful. Fun little vacation area, close to everything. And then I have a bachelor pad as well that it's just kind of all one space. And that's actually where Travis and I first met when he did his cooking show in there for 2 weeks being quarantined, first coming back to the States. So we've made a friendship now, and he cooks for me and I eat it, and it's great. And he rents my space, which is also great. And I get to share it with all you. So thanks for being here with us.
Absolutely. If you're in BC, I think this summer is going to be really about the staycation.
Yeah,
which way?
Totally.
So this is a great place, really oceanfront, beautiful, especially this loft. I stayed in the bachelor suite. It was perfect. It was perfect though. I was really, really fortunate to be here. So yeah, we've got some wings.
Yeah.
Wings. I'm gonna cook some burgers here in a bit. But is Cobb in yet? Let's just see if our guest is around. We're a little early, but actually, I was gonna ask to eat ranch. Yeah, for our wings. Sorry, I'm just gonna try and get a hold of Cobb here, our last guest. We saved the best for last. All right, so yeah, we'd love some feedback from you guys on how you thought this was today. Like I said, this is kind of a pilot. You know, obviously we all want to get back out there, socializing with people again, but I think, you know, there's a lot of minds turning on new ways of connecting and interacting and also keep it entertaining. You know, we tried to bring in some really respectful, well sought after chefs who really kind of have a voice in our Canadian culinary development, where Canadian food's going. So, you know, even though cannabis isn't their, you know, their thing, I don't even know if many of them actually use cannabis, nor does it matter. But you know, understanding that there's an opportunity within the culinary aspect for Canadians to, you know, take this somewhere, and sort of have their, you know, vocal support on it is very encouraging. So, and then we connected with two Californians. We had Josh from Wonder Brett down in LA, and then Jamie up in San Fran. A little SoCal, NoCal. And Jamie's book coming out tomorrow. I know I'm going to be ordering it. You guys should check it out. It's going to be a great read. Just checking out my wings here. BRT. What, I don't know. BRT. Okay. I have a fire and flour prize pack to give away. First person to tell me the name of their app will win our little fire and flour prize package. Anybody? Let's see. First person to say it out loud. When you don't know, this has been awesome. Thanks, Lauren. We got one more guess, I promise. Just wait. Does anyone know the name of Fire and Flowers app that allows you to pre-order your cannabis before you head to the store? We mention it every night. 2 words. Win a prize. Oh, BRT means be right there. Thank you. Good. All right.
Oh, are we live? Am I like in a green room somewhere?
How are you doing, man?
Good, dude. How are you doing? I'm gonna turn up my volume here, make sure I got.
Yeah.
I can. All right. How are you doing?
Now I really can't hear you.
Can't?
Your volume.
All right, interesting. So you could before, but now you can't.
Oh, now it's a little bit better.
Right here. Why don't I bring you closer and see if that's the problem?
That's a bit better. Yeah.
All right, you let me know, man. I'll just talk louder. I'll talk louder here as I go.
So this got to be a 420 you'll remember for a long time, no?
What's that?
So this will be a 420 you're going to remember for a long time, won't it?
Well, I guess that's just it. It's or one I hope to forget, but let's make it a memorable one, man. So it's I'm already working on the forgetful side, anyways. It's been a long day. It's been a long.
Has, you know, it man, when we set out to kind of do this, really to go live for 4 hours straight, I don't think I really realized the constant talking I was going to have to do, and you know, I'm about to light up my 4th or 5th blunt here of the day, so.
I noticed up here it's 3 hours and 6 minutes, so that's quite a marathon as far as I'm concerned. I don't know that I could do that, so
Yeah, and I just checked. We're at $850 raised for second harvest. So final push. Let's get to 1,000. It would feel really good to get $1,000. So really, and second harvest. I don't know if you know, but they're Canada's largest food rescue organization. So they actually will take food that grocery stores might be throwing out that's still edible, and they reservice and send it back. So
very nice. Well,
Yeah.
I give restaurants or not necessarily give restaurants shit, but they say all the time, oh, well, restaurants should be giving away all the food they're throwing out at the end of the night. And if you talk to any restaurateur of any that is successful, it's like our goal is to not throw anything out, and most of the time use it. It's not taste outside of like Tim Hortons and places like that, but small restaurants and whatnot are not. They're not tossing out massive amounts of food at the end of the day. So
no, and it's not the restaurant. So it's not the restaurant that doesn't want to give away food that may be thrown out. It's more the regulation out there that doesn't allow for it. So by getting to the grocery stores and that and sort of rescuing that, I think one, we hit our climate objective there, which I feel great about, and then getting food off to people who need right now. So what are you rolling up there?
Oreo cookies. This is the Space Bros drop that was on BHO, and then I'm going to be. Oh wait, no, it's not. This is. Oh yes, this I'm busting up right now, and I'm going to be smoking some the concrete slippers from Prohibition Farms though. That's my celebratory joint. It's got the terps that I really like right now, but this Oreo cookies, I'm just kind of spinning up as we go here. It's got a profile as well. What are you smoking?
Nectar Extracts sent out this. It's a Rockstar.
Yeah.
Let me show you a bit of it.
Jesus, man. Yeah, that's not so shabby, is it?
No. I just made an infused maple syrup that I'm going to mix with some sriracha and mayo. And then I've got like a sesame chicken breast that I'm going to barbecue. And I've got a little sort of Asian slaw. And that's going to be my little burger. And we're going to get about 25 milligrams per burger in the maple syrup that we serve. So it's going to be a nice little way to end the night off.
This is your 420 dinner? The plans for an infused dinner for the future?
Yeah, I mean, big disappointment that the original 420 we had planned was going to be quite epic. We had a penthouse rented out. We were doing caviar and dabs, and we were really taking it almost to a novel extreme with how fancy as fuck we were going to try and be. But, I am anticipating by mid-June, getting a place in Vancouver and kind of running like a 315 pop-up kitchen out of it for the summer, taking no more than 8 guests, having 2 tables of 4. I think we'll be allowing groups of 10. And, all those events we had to postpone in April, we're going to make those dates up. So, I've got to get to Calgary. I've got to get to Edmonton, Montreal, Toronto, all on the to-do list.
I'm not sure if you've gone through this already, but how are the regulations shaping up for stuff like this? Like, it seems like these events have become a little bit more accessible, anyways, by the legal standards. Specifically, obviously, the gray market just does what it wants to do, but you seem to have a decent customer base on the legal side. So.
Yeah, well, you know what? The days of Nomad cook 50-person dinners, I think, are done. For about a year at least. Which the goal all along was launching the product line. We've just decided to accelerate that now. So by September this year, Nomad Cook ingredients will be out. We're going to start with terpenes, and we're going to make that transition. A lot of opportunities were coming for myself down in the States, and I felt, I want to get around as a Canadian representation. I'm a Canadian chef. This is a Canadian cuisine. Really kind of push it as ours. So, the 3 chefs we had come on today, I think just really give that little check of approval from the actual culinary icons of Canada that, yeah, this is something that should be explored, and when safely and properly done, there can be good things that come out of it.
Yeah.
How many dinners have you been to now?
Yeah, 2 or 3 of your actual dinners, the smaller sort of 8 to 10 people, and then I've been to your events that you've catered to as well. So, man, probably like
You came to the very, very first one though, two years ago.
Well, that was my first experience. Was 2 years ago to the date. I think, yeah, it was. Whenever you started, it was when I started as well. So I've been with you since day one, I guess.
Was just recently going through the guest list and recording emails, and your name popped up, and I was just like, there he was, day one. So, we got a really cool prize. We got a cool prize to give away right now. Hippie Snacks Organics sent out this beautiful gift basket of all these sort of plant-based snacks, non-GMO. It's just I actually, they sent me some extras that I totally munched out on, but we thought we would spruce the package up a little bit. Now we can't tell anyone what we're actually putting in there, but Nectar Extracts sent us out some goodies, and I put some goodies in there. So it's there you go.
Yeah.
There you go. So it's a goodie bag. But yeah, you know who the winner is. Why don't you announce it?
Yeah, the winner, let me make sure I'm pronouncing this correct, is we will use the at Matt with 2 T's, Matt.Amyot with 2 T's. So congrats, Matt Amyot. Matt.Amyot, but that's our winner, Matt Amyot.
Right.
Congratulations.
Awesome. We had so many cool prizes today. We gave away a sous vide, a Levo machine. The West Coast Gift stepped up, gave us a couple bongs to give away. We had a little fire and flour package to give away. So, it was overall, I mean, the fact that we were able to raise some money, give some people some sort of content, maybe give them something different from every other day that seems to be the same, then, I think we did an all right job.
Well, that's just it. I guess maybe that's just it. Not everybody's rolling with the punches. So I think you've done a good job. If you've got 4 hours under your belt of good content and good collaborations, and I think you're doing all right for 2020. So
I think we're 5 minutes away, and I'm almost done this blunt.
Yeah, I was debating whether to safely head down to Sunset Beach just to see if anybody actually showed up, but then I realized I might just be part of the problem at that point. But yeah, I was going to broadcast live from down there, but I'm in my home now, safe and sound.
I encourage people. Now, you know what? I think we got 3 more weeks of this. Everyone just needs to tough it out. Life's not going back to normal, but we as Canadians did a great job, I think. I'm proud of our leadership. I'm proud of the people actually respecting and following it. This was a very hard thing to go through. Everyone around the world had to go through it, and I think Canada is right up there with doing a great response. So I commend, all of our doctors and nurses and first responders and anyone who's, been going into these nursing homes and again, just people staying home. I can tell you that the day the NBA canceled, I didn't sleep that night. I lied in bed and I was like, fuck.
What the fuck are you doing?
Everything's going to cancel. And the next morning, it started at 9 a.m., the phone calls, and I just couldn't believe it. I was so excited for this year. It's actually funny. We just launched my website, my new website up today, and I was asked to write blogs every month. And I wrote my January blog is so optimistic about how awesome this year is going to be.
Yeah, man.
Right? And so, you know what? Fuck, man. I'm going to make the best of it. And I hope everyone else is too, is taking this time to, self-reflect and work on some things. So,
yeah, just man, or as best you can, right? It's or make. I guess it's one of the two. You've been handed lemons, so make lemonade or make bread. How's your bread making ability by comparison? I've seen some pretty good.
Breads I did not get into, but I have literally cooked for myself every single night for the last 5 weeks, which I can't say I've done in 5 years. And doing the cooking with the Nomad cook, 5 straight weeks of doing it. Like I took 2 nights off of the 5 weeks, but otherwise it's been every night at 6:30, having something to cook, and then having something to talk about with people. So, without this current situation, I wouldn't have been able to connect with everyone. We wouldn't have had these 3 chefs come on tonight. This is probably the 3 of the most busy. One's running Joey's. One's developing new restaurants up in Banff, and one's just a culinary icon and has probably the best restaurant in the country in Newfoundland. So we're fortunate to be able to be making these connections. So I've actually started, I'm not sure if you heard, I started working with a company called Lab Effects out in Colorado, and they sent me the terpene hookup, brother.
On your feet.
Yeah, and it's but it's cool. They sent me like little mini bricks. This is CBD keef, right? And they sent me some CBD hash right here, some powdered terpenes.
Interesting.
Right. So, really going to explore this terpene thing, and this is, in my opinion, the future. So, all right, we're almost away. So, everyone, happy 420. I hope next year we can all be together.
We got countdown is, but
is it my phone said 420.
Are you back rolling for 420?
What's that?
Are you back rolling? Here we are. Happy 420. At least that's what Apple tells us.
All right. Show them. Yeah.
There we go.
Beautiful.
Very nice. What are you smoking?
This is the Rockstar from Nectar Extracts.
Oh, that's right. See, I told you I'm working on the short-term memory today. Chiseling it down, whittling away at it like it's a brick of cheese.
So yeah, hey, if you're looking for a summertime getaway from Vancouver, you should come check this place out in Campbell River. You love it. Right on the ocean. Beautiful. A little bachelor.
All right.
That's where I did my self-isolation when I got back from the States. So.
Oh, very nice.
Elements. So yes, I want to thank Elements for letting us come back and host this in here. I want to thank Fire and Flower for being there from day one and getting their Fastlane app out there. I think it's a great initiative that they're doing. I want to thank Lab Effects. I want to thank Shabazz, definitely. We connected 10 days ago and came up with this concept, and Bobby Roberts just come on as the new creative director for Nomad Cook. He does all my video work, and he's really the puppet master behind. Hey, Robert, why don't you come join right now? And Shabazz.
Hey, dude, thanks for sending.
Multiple screens. There we go.
I'm not blazing like you guys. I don't have no good strains or nothing.
That's okay.
Hey, dude.
420 an hour, so you get a pass, right? So yeah. So
my internet can't handle freeway. There we go.
I just want to wrap up.
What are you smoking? Do you got anything going where
I have nothing.
In a coffee shop.
I have nothing going where I'm at, unfortunately. Since I was behind the scenes, working the back end of stuff, I had to come into the office to make sure I had a good connection and just run everything accordingly.
Yeah. So let's just finish thanking everyone. I want to thank Chef Justin Lebo, Chef Matthew Stowe, and Chef Jeremy Charles for making time to come chat with us. Jamie Evans, Josh Wonderbrett, Shy. I'm saying that right? busy bud tender, Chai, and then Cobb. As always, you're always there to support from day one. So this was fun.
Cool. So what's the next thing, Travis, that everyone can look forward towards?
Well, you know
Hey guys,
we're gonna ride out the next couple of weeks just doing cooking with the Nomad.
Oh, shit, guys. I literally, yeah, you're breaking up quite a bit on my end. My feed is struggling here. So 1 second, let me try. And fix it.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it breaks up when there's just too many people. But yeah, sorry, Travis. You're saying what's the final call to action around what's going on? What's everyone doing? Looking forward to.
Yeah, so, I'll be hosting dinners in Vancouver once we can. No more than people. We'll have a secret location. I will be in Calgary, Edmonton, Toronto, Montreal. I'm hoping to do that all in July. So those makeup dates. We're going to follow the rules. We're not going to do anything foolish. And then, that's
cool. So when's the website launching?
Website's up. Go check it out. Nomadcook.ca. I want to thank Jared Jensen from Edmonton who did it, and Roxanne. It's been something that's needed to be done for a long time. I apologize. My web shit for a long time. So it's finally, I think, at a respectable quality. I'm really proud of it. So go check it out. And yeah, that's it. I'm hungry. Everyone, thank you. 420. Be safe. Go wash your hands.
Peace.
Wrap it up.